Good morning. I call to order the 2021 first organizational meeting of the Wayne County Commission. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We will now have the invocation by the Reverend Dr. Craig Esther.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And God bless you. I am thankful for this opportunity to open you guys up this year. And I'm praying that unity will be the cause and the fight that we would be working toward this year. So let us pray. Eternal God, we come now in the name of Jesus, and we give you thanks, first of all, for life, for strength, and for health. We thank you, Lord God, for these servants, Lord God, who are willing to serve Wayne County. And we ask your blessings upon them, Lord God, as they start out a new year. May they be energized. May you give them wisdom. And with the wisdom, Lord God, please give them understanding. And let them work together, Lord God, in unity so that they will be reminded of the scripture that says in Psalms 133:1, how good and pleasant it is for brethren and sister to dwell together in unity. Bless them, keep them, love them, and guide them throughout this year. And we'll forever give your name the praise, the glory, and the honor. For it is in the name of Jesus that we pray and say thank you. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Esther, for that. Reverend Esther's from New Prospect Missionary Baptist Church, which is my home church, and in the district of Commissioner Irma Clark Holman. Thank you, Reverend Craig. And I've known Craig for over 30 years. So before he was who he is and I was who I am from kids. So thank you. That's all I'll say about that one. Thank you, Rev.
Yeah, amen. God bless you all. I got to go to another meeting now. So
God bless you.
All, and God bless you. Have a wonderful and great year.
Thank you so much.
Me too.
Thank you, Reverend Esther. Now for the roll call of commissioners. Each member is acknowledging that they are attending the meeting via Zoom and that they are located in Wayne County, Michigan, unless otherwise stated when I call your name. Commissioner Killeen.
Unmute here.
Commissioner Scott.
Present.
Commissioner Varga.
Present.
Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Here.
Commissioner Baker McCormick. Commissioner Baker McCormick. Commissioner Bell.
Here.
Commissioner Kniezek.
Here.
Commissioner Marecki.
Here.
Commissioner Daub.
Here.
Commissioner Haddis.
Present.
Commissioner Anderson. Commissioner Anderson. Commissioner Baydoun.
Here.
Commissioner Basham.
Here.
Commissioner Palomera.
Here.
Commissioner Baker McCormick. Octavia, do you see Commissioner Baker McCormick?
Did see her. She must have got bumped off.
Commissioner Anderson.
Present.
You give me just a couple of moments for Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Is she on the telephone?
I don't see that she's dialed in, Chair, and I just tried giving her a call.
Okay. Okay. I'll try as well. Everyone, give us a moment, please. We want to make sure everyone is here. Is she trying to get in, Octavia?
I don't see that she's trying to enter.
She was in earlier. I just gave her a text and a phone call. So, says she's trying to get back on now. She just texted. So we can give her a minute. Let us know, Octavia, if she gets on.
Will do.
We want to make sure that she's able to get on because the next part of the agenda is to do the oath. And we want to make sure that all of us are on for that part of the agenda.
Joining now, Chair.
Okay, thank you so much.
Commissioner Baker McCormick, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
All righty, great. Commissioner Baker McCormick,
here.
great. All 14 commissioners are present. Next item on the agenda is the constitutional oath of office. The oath will be administered to all commissioners by the Honorable Timothy M. Kinney, Chief Judge of the 3rd Judicial Circuit Court of Michigan.
Good morning, members of the commission.
Morning, Judge.
And Madam Chair, if you would indulge me maybe 60 seconds of comment before I administer the oath, I would appreciate that. Particularly in light of the events of yesterday. When I read the wording of the oath of office that you'll be taking in the next minute or two, the events of yesterday struck me about how serious this oath really is. We were all shocked, I think, yesterday by what we saw on the news in terms of what happened in Washington. And it reminded me of that quote from the Charles Dickens novel of The Tale of Two Cities, which starts with the words, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness." We saw all of those events, the best of times, the worst of times. We saw wisdom and we saw foolishness, all within a matter of hours yesterday in Washington, D.C. It was the worst of times in the sense that there was lawlessness. It was the worst of times to think that in this country, representatives of the people of our country were forced for a period of time to take cover under their desks in their office. I mean, it is shocking. But it was also the best of times in the sense that constitutional responsibilities and duties were carried out, and the rule of law prevailed yesterday and in the early hours of this morning. So I think in light of the events of yesterday, I would hope that the words of the oath take an even deeper meaning today as you take it. Certainly as a resident of Wayne County, I will say that we are in fact blessed and most fortunate to have commissioners who will support the state and federal constitution and will discharge their duties, not only with dignity that has been demonstrated over the years, but also demonstrated with courage. So, Madam Chair, thank you for giving me that opportunity. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Judge. We appreciate your words.
With regards to the oath, I'm going to start by saying I, and then you will say your name, and we will go forward, and I'll go through this slowly so that hopefully you will remember. All right, so if you would kindly raise your right hands for me and repeat after me. I
I,
Martha
Bell,
L. Hedis,
McCormick,
do solemnly swear
do
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Michigan
and the
the
Constitution of the State of
Michigan
and the Wayne County Charter,
and the Wayne County Charter,
and that I will faithfully discharge
that I will
faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Wayne County Commissioner
the
duties
duties
of office of Wayne County Commissioner
Commission
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my
ability.
Congratulations.
So help me God.
So help me
Thank you,
God. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Judge, for administering the oath to us. We appreciate you again in these interesting, different, unique times. We do different and unique things. So thank you for the opportunity and your time to swear us in today. We appreciate you.
Okay, thank you so much for giving me the privilege to do that. It was my pleasure.
Thank you,
Thank you
Judge.
so
We
much.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Okay, you too.
Thank you, Judge Kenny.
Okay.
We'll now move to the election of Wayne County Commission officers. Are there any nominations for the office of Chair of the County Commission?
Yes, please.
Mr. Palomera,
Thank you, Presiding Officer and Clerk Fordham. It is my distinct honor and privilege to nominate Commissioner Alicia Bell as chairperson for the 2021-2022 term of office.
I support Irma Clark Coleman.
we have a motion and support. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations?
Move to close nominations.
Nomination. There's been a motion and a support to close the nominations. Nominations are now closed. All nominations have been made. There's a motion on the floor for Commissioner Bell to be the chair. Motion and supported. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Commissioner Bell is the chair for the 2021-22 session. Congratulations, Commissioner Bell.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you, commissioners. Thank you very much.
Moving on, are there any nominations for the office of Vice Chair of the Commission?
Good
Commissioner
morning. I would like to nominate my colleague, Commissioner Joseph Palomera, to be the vice chair for the term starting on January 2021 through 2022.
Is there-
Support, Mareki.
Passion.
We have a motion and support. Are there any other nominations? Hearing no other nominations, hearing no other nominations, we will take a vote. The motion has been made for Commissioner Palomera to be the vice chair. It's been made and supported. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Congratulations, Commissioner Palomera.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Commissioner.
Thank
Congratulations.
you all very much.
Congratulations.
Are there any nominations for the office of Vice Chair Pro Tempore of the Wayne County Commission?
Yes,
Commissioner Varga,
yes. I nominate Sam Baydoun for Speaker Pro Tempore.
Support, Mareki.
we have a motion and support for Commissioner Baydoun to be the Vice Chair Pro Tempore of the Wayne County Commission. Are there any other nominations?
Yes, Commissioner Cleen, I would like to place the name of Commissioner Monique Baker McCormick in nomination.
Thank you, Commissioner Colleen, for your support in that. I will have to respectfully decline. And I will just say that in the spirit of Jewel Ware, I know that she would have wanted a Detroiter in the seat. As I explained to each of the commissioners, I know for sure that she would have wanted a Detroiter in that seat. We all know that Jewel was 110% for Detroit. She loved the city. She was not only my colleague, she was a good friend and mentor. Jewel believed in reaching back to teach and mold and to bring up the next set of Detroit leaders like myself and Commissioner Bell and so many others. And just last year, before she passed, she pledged into my sorority, and she was just so happy for that and to be a part of the sorority. And many of the resolutions that I have sponsored and that this commission supported was a collaboration that I worked with Jewel Ware on. And I'm just most proud in the first term as a Detroit commissioner. I sponsored the Wayne County Commission Youth Council, and Jewel was instrumental in helping in the formation of that program. She was passionate about Detroit young people and seniors, and I will truly miss her counsel and advice. So therefore, I will work with this new leadership team and have no problem with that. However, in the honor of Jewel Ware and in the spirit of Detroit, and because Jewel Ware would have wanted a Detroiter to fill her seat as Vice Chair Pro Tem, I will abstain from the vote for Baydoun. But again, it is in the spirit of Commissioner Ware. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Are there any other nominations for the office of Vice Chair Pro Tempore? Hearing no additional nominations,
You're not looking.
I'm sorry, didn't see you, Commissioner. Commissioner
I had
Basham.
the virtual hand up and my regular hand up. Okay.
Commissioner Basham.
If I may make a comment relative to the previous speaker, Wayne County Commission includes the city of Detroit, the largest city in Wayne County, but it also includes other cities and townships too. And as a Wayne County Commissioner, I will be supporting a commissioner who we nominate collectively. Hopefully that's somebody from the immediate district of Jewel Ware. But to have a person as the position we just talked about, we got to recognize that the Wayne County Commission is bigger than just the city of Detroit. So I definitely will be supporting Sam Baydoun for that position. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Basham. We will now have a vote on the motion to place Commissioner Baydoun in the office of Vice Chair Pro Tempore of the Wayne County Commission. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
I abstain.
Duly noted, Commissioner Baker McCormick. Motion carries. Congratulations, Commissioner Baydoun.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I will now turn the meeting over to the Chair of the Commission, Alicia Bell.
Thank you, Ms. Fordham. Thank you for presiding over our meeting today. I appreciate all of the work that you've done. I'm just going to make a few comments. I don't have any prepared remarks this morning because, again, these are unique times. And
I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
I am so sorry. I did not administer your oaths.
Oh,
We got to do oaths, yeah.
We have got to do oaths. I am so sorry.
Important. That's important.
Yes,
Thank
the oath
you.
is important.
You even wrote it on the agenda.
Yes, that's not on the screen that I can't see. Okay, so we will now administer the oaths of office. So please fill in the blank with your name when we get to that portion, and also your office when we get to that section of the oath. So please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Sam Baydoun.
I, Alicia
I,
Bell,
Joseph Palomera,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will
that I will
support the
support the
Constitution
Constitution
of the United States
of the
of the
United States
and the Constitution
and the
and the
Constitution
Constitution
of this state
of this
Of
state
this state
and the Wayne County Charter,
and the Wayne County Charter,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of
the
duties of the office of Vice Chair.
Chair Pro Tem.
Chairperson.
Did I hear you, Commissioner Palomera?
Yes. That I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Vice Chair
According to the best of my ability.
According to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help
So
me
help
God.
me God.
Thank you all. And now I turn the meeting over to the Chair of the Commission, Alicia Bell.
Thank you again, Ms. Fordham, and thank you, commissioners. Congratulations
Thank
to
you.
each of the commissioners that are here present. We have had a very interesting 2 years from the time that we were sworn in the last time, which was the top of 2019. So many things have happened in our county and in our world. But I want to just do a couple of highlights. Back when we were initially sworn in and I took the office in 2019, one of the things that I want to put forth was a paperless commission and being more transparent. And we have done both of those. As you know, right now, our meetings can now be seen on YouTube, which is wonderful for those residents who cannot come down to the commission to view our meetings. And we're still working on possibly streaming our meetings, which I think would be an asset to our constituents as well. Going paperless, we were now have laptops, and who knew that these devices would be so important in 2019 as they are now, because that allowed us to communicate when the pandemic struck. And I remember the date so vividly, on March 12th of last year, when I thought we were just going to be out for a couple of weeks, turned to 4 weeks, turned to 6 weeks, and now we're almost into a year of operating via Zoom and, of course, dealing with this pandemic. I want to commend the commissioners for all of their work in handling the pandemic. We have done a tremendous service to our constituents, from the grants for small businesses to the PPEs that have been delivered. We have really stepped up to make sure that Wayne County government still continue to operate and to operate well. I want to thank commissioners who have done so much during the pandemic, as was mentioned earlier. Well, not mentioned earlier, but Commissioner Baker McCormick with the drop boxes to our cities throughout the county. That was so instrumental in our elections. We've done great things with resolutions, Tim Colleen and the Human Rights Ordinance, with the War on Trash in Commissioner Baker McCormick's district, with the Youth Council. We have done tremendous things. Calling for reform with bail and the cash bail system. We've done that. Declaring racism as a public health issue. We've done that. We have really stepped up over these last 2 years, even in the midst of a pandemic. And I'm just so proud to serve with each and every one of you. I thank you for your confidence in my leadership for another term. I know we will continue to do great things for this county and do great things on a national level, because I think Wayne County is certainly a model for all counties throughout the country. So again, I just want to thank you all for your confidence, and I look forward to serving each and every one of you for the next 2 years. Thank you so much. Next item on the agenda, please.
Next item is consideration of temporary rules of the commission for 60 days.
As you all know, the Rules Committee will convene within the next 60 days to establish the rules for this body for the next term. Is there a motion to consider temporary rules until we can establish permanent rules for the next term?
So moved.
So moved, Madam Chair.
It's
Support.
been moved and supported. Any discussion?
Yeah, Commissioner Kleen, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Kleen.
There is on the agenda, Rule 2, that the commission will adopt temporary rules, but I don't see what those temporary rules will be. What are the, and it wasn't included in the agenda packet, so what are the temporary rules that we are approving? What do they consist of?
The continuation of last term's rules until we establish new ones.
Okay, I just wanted that clarification, as long as we're voting. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Anyone wish to abstain?
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Public comments.
Are there, have you received any emails, Madam Clerk?
I have not received any emails, and I am doing one final check as we speak. No emails have been received.
Okay, thank you. If there is anyone on the Zoom, let's go there first. If there's anyone on Zoom, Octavia can help me manage this. Please raise your virtual hand. If you're on Zoom and you'd wish to give public comments will be for 1 minute. Is there anyone on Zoom who would like to give public comments? I see Mr. the Honorable Roy McAllister, City Council member, Detroit City Council member. Mr. McAllister, go ahead.
Thank you so very much. Good morning and Happy New Year's to this honorable body of Wayne County Commissioners. And congratulations again, Commissioner Alicia Bell, Joseph Palomar, and Sam Badu on your election to the office of the board and chair. I hope all is well with everyone. And I just wanted to come in and speak on behalf of Rick Cruz to fill the seat of the loss of our honorable Jewel Ware. As stated by Commissioner McCormick Baker, Commissioner Ware was one of the people who really fought for the community and for the people of the city of Detroit. Rick Cruz has not only supported many elected officials, but also has supported labor, which also is an asset to the development of our communities and the citizens who we serve. I know it is up to this honorable commission to determine who will fill that honorable seat of our lost honorable Ware, but I do hope that we will consider the community and who we serve. And I just want to thank you so very much, and as well as I look forward to continue working with not only my commissioner in the district, which is Irma Clark Coleman, McCormick Baker, as well as my good friend, Miss Martha Scott, as well as Tim Colleen and many others. I look forward to working with you as we continue to bring collaboration between our offices and help develop not only our counties, but our cities. Thank you so very much, and God bless each and every one of you.
Thank you, Councilman. We appreciate your being with us today. Next, we have Mr. Stephen Mohammed. Hello, Stephen.
Let me unmute myself. Good morning, Madam Chair. How are you?
Good morning. How are you, sir?
And to this august body, Madam Chair, congratulations on your reappointment as chair. The confirmation of your leadership touches my heart as well, because you are my leader in the county as well. I appreciate that. The council president wanted me to come on and speak to this body very briefly about her support for Rick Pruse. She's unable to attend here this morning herself, as she is participating in a police and fire pension board, but she wanted you to know that Rick Pruse has the respect of the community. He has participated on our skilled trades task force literally since it began, and she respects him so much that when she is unable to attend or arrive on time due to other commitments, she will frequently have him to chair the skilled trades task force meeting herself. He also is respected by all the trade unions, by all the developers, elected officials, appointed officials. We always look to see who is working in the community, who has a body of work that you can point to. Rick Pruse is that man. I live in the Honorable Jewel Wares district, so whoever you appoint will be my personal representative, and I and Council President and Team Jones, the Office of the Council President, we strongly support Mr. Rick Pruse.
Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate your comments. Give our best to Councilwoman Jones, Council President Jones, I should say.
Yes, ma'am, I will. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Ms. Brenda Hill.
Good morning, and congratulations to everybody who just took the leadership seats. That is so important. What I wanted to say, but now I'm going to say something different. One, we should be fighting for the voices of District 2 to be in this process, and not 1% of the calls or the public comments were from citizens from District 2. We saw that there's a group of people who tried to stage a coup for their views in this country, and we are suppressing the voices and suppressing the votes that just happened 2 months ago. And you all should be ashamed that you're participating in that. Also, we see that Rick Pruse is fighting back against Jonathan's appointment. I hope that the folks on this call, and definitely those in District 2, but all districts should see that you should fight. You should be fighting. You should be aware. That's not to say that Jonathan, who knows policy and procedure, I may only be second best to him, but your voice, your vote should count, and you should be fighting for that. If you've learned nothing else, this council, this commission has the right to call for a special election in March or May, not August or November. Jonathan could be appointed for those few months. He understands how this works, and but we should be fighting for the community, and not just the power brokers. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us all week. We appreciate your comments. Thank you.
I've had a good time.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Hill. Wellington Estates. USA Chairman at Wellington Dash Estate. That's what it's, go ahead.
Yes, Madam Chair. This is KB Stallworth, a former member of
Hey.
the honorable body.
Hey, I can
Congratulations, Madam Chair and members, on a new session. And I want you to know, even though I am retired, I still do operate a business in the city of Detroit as the only African-American owned overhead and underground line construction company. I can tell you it's very hard to find an African-American that really understands the industry, has worked as hard as Rick Pruse in terms of trying to open doors for women and minorities into electric distribution. We're really at a very difficult point all over the country, but particularly Detroit and Wayne County, because of the challenge that's exacerbated by COVID and the inability to really address adequate property taxes. And you all know there is going to be a big bill coming due to the city of Detroit related to its inability to pay the debt associated with the revolving loan fund that the treasurer is responsible for. You have an opportunity really to select someone that will get on in micro mechanics addressing employment that has the ability to increase the tax base. Sure, it won't be enough, but it's a start. We've got to start across the country, particularly in inner city communities, trying to identify willing to help rebuild the economics of our community. The policy work, we need that. It's very, very important. But the mechanics of creating school to work opportunities, of creating real skilled opportunities that will help our tax base, it's critical. People have relationships and they support who they support. But I would encourage you, whenever you have the opportunity to bring someone into the system, whether as an employee or an appointee or a new member, that you consider the value that they bring and the skill set that they bring. We've got to do a better job, and that's each and every one of us, in trying to recruit talent that can help us solve problems that we can't solve individually or as a group.
Thank you so much, Mr. Stallworth. You've gone on about a little bit longer than.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm so good to see and hear your voice. I know you're calling from Florida, so I'm so glad that you took the time to voice your public comment to us today.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members.
Have
a wonderful 21.
Thank you. You do the same, sir. It's so good to see you. Next, we'll have Miss.
Let me see how much it is.
Please make sure everyone is muted. Williams, Miko Williams.
Yes, good morning to the honorable body of Wayne County Commissioners. Good morning, Mrs. Bell. Congratulations on your appointment.
Thank you.
In the new year, I'm very disappointed. I thought that we would have a year that we can really change things. The loss of Jewel Ware, I was a constituent of hers, and she served with duty, and she was a real example of a political servant. Beverly Kendall Walker was a perfect successor that could have delivered for our constituent here, and successor of Jewel Ware. I'm very hurt, and I'm very disappointed that to put political hacks or people that do not have any interest in serving the community. I don't agree with the appointment of Jonathan Kinloch. I do not agree with this commission selecting him or not giving any of the candidates enough ample time, or even the public ample time, to research and to actually select someone that can represent their communities. I'm very disappointed in this body that to select Jonathan Kinloch or to not select Beverly Kendall Walker to fill in the seat for District 2. I'm just have to really say that I've lost all hope in this commission. You know, Jewel Ware was a servant. She got up out of her bed in the middle of the night to service seniors, and the seniors that are now suffering a loss are gonna now be disserviced. They're gonna now be horrified to know that there is no one that will represent and speak up in their best interest.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Thank you so much for your comments today, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Christian Phillips. Unmute.
Good morning,
Good
to
morning.
everyone. Just want to say congratulations on all the reappointments and new appointments. You know, I don't live in District 2. I wanted to come out in support of Rick Bruce. A little more to his character. I'm a business representative with the Operating Engineers, Local 324. I am a member of the Wayne County Trade Alliance. And, you know, since coming on board, you know, Rick's really been a tireless advocate for labor. I've been inspired by his leadership, and I would just like to say you guys would be lucky to have him. So that's all I have to say, and thanks again for taking me.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips.
Yep.
Mary Nelson.
Good morning and congratulations to each and every one of you. My name is Mary Nelson. I'm with SEIU Healthcare Michigan, and I really work very close to Miss Ware, and that was a hard, you know, to me. Miss Ware was there with workers when we planted 1,200 flags on the boulevard, and beside her was Mr. Jonathan Kinlock. And Mr. Kinlock, again, he stood firm with the governor, with the mayor, to get these PPE into the nursing homes. Well, again, where our workers were dying and the residents. He stood side by side, 5 o'clock and 4:30 in the morning, helping with the strikes and everything. Sometimes you can have a passion person, but this Jonathan Kinlock is passion with everything, and I think he will be good for the second to carry that chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Jack. Just says Jack. Jack, are you there? Okay, we'll come back to Jack if he's not there. VJ? VJ, please come off unmute.
Good morning, honorable commissioners. My name is Vijay Virapanavar. I actually tried to call in yesterday. I had some audio issues. So I appreciate you taking the time to hear me out here. I am the treasurer for the city of Inkster, and I am also a resident of District 2. I'm calling in today to lend my support to Jonathan Kinlock. I can attest to the fact that he is a leader. He is someone that is an advisor to many, including myself. He has helped many of us become more interested in becoming public servants, myself included. I was in the private sector for my work. He helped convince me that, hey, this is a good route to go based on everything that you're interested in. And when I talk about what else I'm interested in, I founded a charitable nonprofit on the side called Let's Go Detroit. He has advised me, he has helped, he has provided guidance. He has attended our events. He has been there on the ground for a grassroots nonprofit event. So he's someone that gives back to the community. He has the service of the community. And Commissioner Clark Coleman, I know you mentioned yesterday, this is something that is an important part of this, because Commissioner Ware was someone that was always there as well. So I really just want to lend my support to Jonathan Kinloch. I think he will be a great fit. I think he will do what we need. And I could not endorse someone and be more proud to endorse someone who is dedicated to giving their all to their community. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, my internet is unstable. Thank you, VJ. I think you were done with your comments. If Jack is available, we'll go back to Jack. Okay, going over to Byron Osborne.
Good morning, commissioners. My name is Byron Osborne, resident of District 2, precinct delegate in that district, also a husband and father and homeowner in the district. So got quite a few things invested in the district, and I'll keep it fairly sweet to the point. Congratulations to all of you who have won your elections and taken the oath today. I thank you for standing up and representing all the districts in Wayne County. And I know that we're in good hands as long as we have you all at the helm. And I will say this, that I want to throw my support, even as I have a good relationship with both candidates who are up for taking this appointment. I want to throw my support behind Rick Preuss. He's not only a colleague and a friend, but I view him as a brother. He has been instrumental in my, as well as the growth of a lot of people who are in my union, which is the Electricians Union, Local 58 in Detroit. Rick has been instrumental to the growth of quite many of us, as well as making connections in the city and getting his fingerprint put on a lot of things that are going here as far as coalition building and negotiating policy. So again, real quick, I just want to say I support Rick Preuss. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's go to Tanisa Hill, and after Ms. Hill, Jack, if you can get yourself prepared. Ms. Hill?
Thank you. Congratulations, Ms. Bell, on your reappointment, and to all of the other leadership with the Wayne County the Wayne County Commissioners. Many of you may know me because I was the coordinator for the Labor Day Parade for the last 20 years. I live in Wayne County, and I support Rick Preuss as for the appointment of the Wayne County Commissioner, District 2. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. We appreciate your comment today. Is Jack available? Okay. Hearing not from Jack, we'll go to Marty Elward.
Hello, commissioners.
Good morning.
My name's Marty Elward, and I'm with the Pipe Fitters, Local 636. I've been a business agent in the downtown area in Eastern Wayne County for 4 years. I'm calling in support of Rick Preuss. He's been a great leader for our Wayne County Trade Alliance meetings, which include all business agents from the various building trades. Rick is a strong advocate for labor. He's really helped me be a better business agent. His communication skills are tremendous. And I just want to reiterate what Christian said, that I think you do a great job, and I'm 100% behind Rick Preuss. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll go now to Jeff's iPhone.
All right, sorry about that.
Jeff's iPhone.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and congratulations to all the commissioners who were sworn in today. My name's Jeff Patrica. I am currently a business representative for the IBEW Local 58 in Detroit. I've also held the position of chair of our executive board
And I made this call today on behalf of Rick Preuss. I've known Rick for 9 years. I've worked with him in various capacities. I have found him to be a man of character and integrity, a tireless worker on behalf of those that he represents. Mr. Preuss would be a great asset to this commission, and I'm sure he will serve this commission with both hard work and honor that is befitting of the seat. I appreciate your time for allowing me to speak, and I wish you all a good and safe new year.
Thank you, sir. At this time, I'd like to go to Eric Brown.
Can you hear me, Commissioner?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to, I appreciate the time I've been on every day this week. And, my main concern has always been about the sanctity of the process and the fairness as it relates to the residents of District 2. I don't have a dog in the fight, but I do want to say how much I appreciated the transparency shown by Mary Waters on Monday when she spoke. And with that being said, I think it's very important why the citizens should have the right to vet the candidates, because there's information that they can see for themselves and let them decide if they want someone representing them. I'm not sure if information or a vetting process was done or how your vetting process was done as a commission, but I received a documentation yesterday and I forwarded it to you all. I forwarded it to my District 10 commissioner first last night. I forwarded it to the remaining commissioners this morning, just for you all to view, because that's the type of information that the citizens will have available to them to make a decision on who they want representing them. To disenfranchise the citizens, to take away their voice, to also suppress the vote by not having a special election, I just feel that is wrong. I told you all on Tuesday, this process, I've always been involved in politics, but this process that will engage me further to educate the citizens and the electorate on how important it is to understand the charter, how important it is to understand government relations, how important it is to understand the political process, and how important it is to get them involved in civics, since that has been taken out of the classroom. Again, I've been saying all week, this is a flawed process, in my opinion. The citizens should have the right to vet whom they want to represent them. Transparency obviously was not part of the equation. Otherwise, it probably would have been a different choice. That's all I wanted to say. I wish you all well. Good luck to you on your 2021-2022 year, and congratulations to all those that just received leadership roles with Commissioner Wayne County. I wish I am a proud resident enough.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. We appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to be with us all week. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry, Commissioner Palomero, I am having some connection issues, so I may go out. And if I do, please continue until I can get back in. Adrian Bonds.
Good morning, honorable body. I would like to congratulate you guys.
No, you're welcome, Chairwoman.
Thank you. Mr. Bonds, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I just want to throw my support for Mr. Preuss. We've been working together for some time with the Wayne County Trade Alliance, and I think he will be an asset to this honorable body. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your comments. Mr. Cook, Mr. Andre Crook.
Hey, how you doing? I just got my, this is Jack. I'm sorry.
Oh, Jack, finally. Okay, go ahead, Jack, because we were trying to get you back and forth. Go ahead, Jack. And then
I'm sorry,
we'll go
my
to
microphone was going in and out.
Go ahead.
Hey, but my name is Jack, and I'm calling because I would like to see Rick in office in District 2.
Thank you, Jack.
I'm sorry, it's going in and out. But I see him at the picket lines, helping out everybody in the neighborhood, and
And Jack, you can certainly type in your comment and we can read it at the conclusion of all of the voice public comments. Ms. Grace Trudell.
Hi, my name is Grace Trudell. I am a daughter of Detroit, and I would like to express my support for Rick Preuss, who I've known close to 20 years, who is a strong voice for all people. He is a stand-up citizen, very involved in the community, and works tirelessly for everybody in Wayne County. He does not bring any shame. I think he will bring stability to the commission and do a great job. So I just wanted to express my support for Rick Preuss.
Thank you so much. Mr. Tony Parker. Mr. Tony Parker. You're on mute, Mr. Parker. If you can hear my voice, unmute yourself, or Octavia, unmute Mr. Tony Parker. Okay, Mr. Tony Parker is having technical difficulties. You just put that in the chat. If you put your comments in, we'll read them out loud. Next, we'll go to Christopher McLean.
Hi there. Thank you, Honorable Chairwoman. I want to express my support for Jonathan Kinlock. Jonathan Kinlock, again, is somebody who has worked at all levels of government, from local to serving on county boards to also working with the congressional member here of the city of Detroit, Rashida Tlaib, as well in his public service. Just recently, again, he was somebody on the Wayne County Board of Canvassers who defended the integrity of Wayne County and its elections and its people before the nation and the world. And I think that his leadership speaks volumes, and I want to throw my support behind him.
Thank you, sir. Next, we'll have Scott Holliday.
Thank you, Honorable Chairwoman, and good morning, Honorable Board. I'd like to speak today just to lend support to Jonathan Kinlock. I've worked with Jonathan for the past couple of years, helping to build a plan to lift hundreds of nursing home workers out of poverty. And in 2020, we executed that plan. Jonathan Kinlock helped set a standard in 33 nursing homes in the Metro Detroit area, with probably, I think, 18 of those being in Wayne County. Jonathan Kinlock's standard was no less than $15 an hour for any nursing home job. So the lowest paid worker in any of those homes is $15 an hour. And it goes up incrementally for your hours of didactic learning. Jonathan has also been instrumental in helping build a skilled trade apprenticeship program for SENAs and LPNs being taught right now with SEIU Healthcare Michigan, NextCare Healthcare, and Wayne County Community College. And so he understands that how to link education and economics, and is helping our residents right now move from poverty to good jobs that will continue to be good jobs that are rooted in worker voice. And so we appreciate all that he's done, and we think that his leadership would be a great addition on the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holliday. Next, we have just someone with Chris. Just Chris.
Yes. I'm Chris Gary. I'm with SEIU International. I've been working here at SEIU Healthcare Michigan for about a year, and I've worked closely beside Jonathan Kinlock. And again, just like my colleague Scott Holliday just said, he's a tireless, worker. He is definitely an advocate for working people. He's been involved in all, arenas of public service, and he's the real deal. I just think that, he, continuously shows that day in and day out. So I want to throw my support behind Jonathan Kinlock, and I thank you guys for the time, and congratulations to all of the members.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Jamari Moses, or Jameer Moses.
Yes, you pronounced it right the second time. My name is Jameer Moses. I'm a business agent with the Laborers Local 1191. I am here to give my support to Rick Preuss for this job in District 2. Rick Preuss is actually more valuable than District 2 because he always looking out to represent the people of Detroit, Michigan. Rick Preuss is a fine example of working men and women. He's always using his time. He don't have much of that, but he always using his time to try to reach out to the community and give them opportunity to become a skilled trade laborer. Rick Preuss are for the working men and women. He's always trying to help people get a living wage. Rick Preuss will be a valuable asset to District 2. Again, like Rick Preuss is a valuable asset to the city of Detroit. So we at the Laborers are hoping that Rick Preuss get this nomination, get this job so he can continue to keep the city going forward and representing skilled trade men and women inside the trade and outside the trade who want to become trade members. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Maroon, you're next.
I think, Madam Chair, that is me, and that maroon is actually Michael Aaron, business manager of Laborers Local 1191. Thank you for having me today and allowing me to present. And I want to say to the rest of the body, thank you for allowing me this opportunity. But I'm calling to say that Laborers Local 1191 and Mike Aaron is in support of Mr. Rick Preuss for the next appointment of the Wayne County Commission seat in District 2. As we all know, well, maybe not all, but we know Mr. Preuss to be a hard worker in the community. He provides opportunities to citizens in his district. He tirelessly represent his members, and I think Mr. Preuss brings stability. He brings transparency, and he will do a good job in being a good commissioner along with the rest of you all. So I am once again calling to support Mr. Rick Preuss for the District 2 County Commissioner seat. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Michael Aaron. It's good to see you. I didn't know that was you. Good to see you, sir. All right, and Russell's iPhone. Russell's iPhone.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, commissioners. My name is Russell Rader. I'm a business agent with the IBEW Local 58 in Detroit. I'm calling today in support of Rick Preuss. He's a longtime resident of District 6. He's a person of great character and someone who would be a tireless worker for Wayne County. He's been a strong advocate for the citizens of Detroit, helping them with opportunities, helping them get into the trade programs, not only through the Skilled Trades Task Force, but he was also very helpful with DPS and getting the Randolph Tech Center back going to help Detroit high school students prepare themselves to get into the trades. He's been an advocate for the city for a long time. He's helped to bring jobs and projects to the city, and I just feel like he'd be a great asset to the Wayne County Commission.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your comment.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Andre Crook, did you go? Did we ask Mr. Crook? Your hand is still raised. Okay, Jim Boyd.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Congratulations to all the commissioners on your appointments and your elections. My name is Jim Boyd. I am the president of Heat and Frost Insulators Local 25. I've had the pleasure of working with Rick Preuss for the better part of a decade. And I can tell you during that time, while there's never been a better advocate for the members of Local 58, there's also not been a better advocate for the members of the community in Wayne County. We have worked tirelessly side by side to expand our reach as trade unions and start to move people into our ranks in order to further the middle class and grow the tax base here in Wayne County. With as much as Rick has represented Local 58, his desire for the expansion of the middle class in Wayne County is probably the only thing that exceeds his commitment to his members at Local 58. I just would like to let you know that Heat and Frost Insulators Local 25, as well as myself, Jim Boyd, proudly support Rick Preuss. Thank you for the time.
Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate you coming on.
I'm
Andre
sorry,
Crook.
Madam.
Go ahead, Mr. Andre
Madam
Crook.
Chair,
You're next.
can you hear me? Yeah, can
Yep.
you hear me, Madam Chair?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for the time today. I'm here to speak on behalf of Rick Preuss and support him as a Detroiter myself. I think Rick will be an asset to the commission. Rick he not only talks it, but he walks it. He does a lot of sweat equity. He puts in time with the youth, including him helping build the scoreboard for PAL. He's involved in bringing in and fostering apprentices, especially like myself. Rick has been a mentor to me for years and then fostered me in the leadership. And I think he would be good for the youth of Detroit and Detroit residents as a whole on the commission. Thank you.
Thank you. J.G. Love.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And as several on this call have been available for the last 3 days, I have been one of those. I represent the Indian Village Manor Condominium Association, located right in the heart of the East Jefferson Corridor. As I indicated yesterday, I've lived in District 2 for 23 years. I was one of 45,000 who voted for the Honorable Jewel Ware. I want to say that I'm representing the senior citizens of this district, over 18,000, the veterans of this district, and the retirees of the city of Detroit in District 2. It is my hope that this honorable body today takes a minimum of 2 names to be brought forth for a vote. That would be fair. Please keep in mind that the many seniors that Jewel Ware served have no internet. That's the reason why they're not on these calls. I noticed today that as we speak, there are 151 on this call. You're forcing us to have a pep rally for 1 or 2 or 3. Take a minimum of 2 to the body of the whole and make the selection from there. The 2 names that are being bantered around, both are very, very positive. This is not to discourage or despair anyone's background, but the citizens of this district needs a stronger voice. And please have the committee vote for a minimum of 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Love. Alex Rezick.
Good morning, Madam Chair. My name is Alex Bruzek, and I am the organizer for Sheet Metal Workers Local 80. We cover 6 counties in southeastern Michigan, and I deal with Rick Preuss on a regular basis, and I would like to show my support for him. He's a great advocate for the community, and he's always trying to help the citizens of Detroit with the pathway to the skilled trades. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Cohen, Anthony Cohen. Anthony Cohen.
There we go.
All right.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Anthony Cohen, and I want to support Mr. Jonathan Kinlock. I have been a long-time Detroiter, and when my nursing home was going on strike, Mr. Kinlock came out there and supported us, and it just made me feel good to see that that politicians do care. He took time out of his schedule to come out there and support us when he didn't have to. So my support is for Mr. Jonathan Kinlock. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Jay Daughtry.
Hey, this is Joe Daugherty with Unite Here. I'm a director and executive vice president. I'm calling in for the hundreds of our members who live in District 2 and thousands who through Wayne County. In the support of Rick Preuss is we, our union, but our members and the members in that district have worked with Rick over the years, and we have found no one more determined and dedicated to the city and to the county for working people, for the community, for all of us. And again, we would like more consideration given to his this recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for coming, joining us. And Rick's phone. Rick's phone?
Yeah, that's me. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello. Yeah, my name is Rick Garrett. I'm a lifetime resident of Detroit, and I've known Rick Preuss for probably about 30 years as a union brother, and I'm just calling in to speak on his behalf. Just to say that he is a person that exemplifies brotherhood. We are in the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. He would do almost anything for almost anybody that needed some help. And I think he would be a great addition to the Wayne County Commission. I would hope that you would vote for him. I can speak to his character for the whole day long. He's a great guy. You would not be sorry if you put him on the commission. Thank you very much for letting me share.
Thank you so much. I understand there are people who weren't able to raise their hand, but they would like to speak. Octavia, can you go to the chat and acknowledge those people, please?
Miss Lorna Davis.
Lorna Davis.
Davison, I'm sorry. Lorna Davison.
Ms. Davison.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Lorna Davison. I'm a Wayne County employee and also a proud member of ASME Local 1659. I would like to read a brief letter from my president, ASME Michigan Council 25, Lawrence Ward. Dear Chairwoman Bill and members of the Wayne County Board of Commission, as the leader of ASME Council 25, which represents thousands of Wayne County employees, I write to you about the very important upcoming appointment to fill the vacancy left in District 2. On behalf of our nearly 50,000 members, ASME Council 25 strongly endorses Coleman Young II for the position and urge you to select him to fill the remainder of Commissioner Rare's term. Having served for 12 years in the Michigan legislature, Mr. Young's experience and credentials are unmatched by the other applicants for the position. Mr. Young has a voting record as an elected official and has clearly demonstrated his commitment to working families, women, and people of color. We are fortunate to have such a highly qualified applicant as Mr. Young in these uncertain times. On behalf of our membership, I thank you for your consideration of our request. We are privileged to be served by you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you reading that into the record. Is there anyone else? Octavia, I'm going to turn it over to you because I can't read my screen. So go ahead and call persons who aren't able to get in if they're made comments in the chat. And if they made a comment in the chat, read their comment, please, into the record.
Mr. William Miller.
Thank you, and thank you, Madam Chair, and congratulations to all of you that were appointed and elected. I come on to you with two hats. I work for the operating engineers. I'm the political director, as well as Oakland County Commissioner in the 14th District. So I understand the hard decisions you have to make. We had a lot of hard decisions last year with the executive and the heat that we got. I mean, I feel for you and I have empathy for everybody because I know how stressful it is in the late nights. But I just have I wanted to throw our support for the operating engineers and personally for me, for Rick Preuss. I've worked with him for the last 10 years. I've been an operating engineer for 21 years, 3 years as a county commissioner. I agree with what everybody else said about him, but I just want to say is, you know, having to be a part of making Oakland County a welcoming county. The one thing I found here is I have on the back here is belonging begins with us. And that's one thing that you will know if you know Rick Preuss is you feel like you belong anywhere you're at with him. He makes you feel part of the county. He makes you feel part of the city. His work, nothing against anybody else, no disrespect, but he bleeds Wayne County and the city of Detroit. He loves being there. He loves the residents. He loves everybody that comes in there, and he shows them that respect to feel welcomed and be part of it, to bring new businesses, to help the trades out, and to help our youth out, right? One of our issues is, we know in the city, is our youth is getting the youth to work, right? Is getting them the opportunity. And I've seen Rick work diligently. I don't know how he functions at times because he works so many hours, but his passion drives him. And I would recommend for our business manager, Douglas W. Stockwell, and me as a county commissioner, Rick Preuss, for this position. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Commissioner Miller, and thank you for joining us over on this side of the Southeast Michigan today. We appreciate your comment.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. And I look forward to working with y'all.
Absolutely. Thank you. Next, Octavia.
There is a message in the chat from McCurran. I'm sorry I'm having technical difficulties for some reason. I am a resident of Wayne County and work in Detroit for IBEW 58. I know Rick Preuss going on 20 years, and he is a hardworking person and would be an asset to the board. I support Rick Preuss.
Thank you. There's oh, I had that person. Davidson. Okay, I'm looking to see who I have. Is there anyone else that you see in the chat? Tony Parker. Okay, let's turn it over to the phone lines. Is there anyone on the telephone who would like to speak at this time? Anyone on the phone lines? Octavia, if you could unmute the phones and see if there's anyone on the phone who would like to speak. Okay, going once. Okay.
Hello. Hi, this is Jim Peltier.
Okay. Hey, hold on one sec. Let us mute everyone else while you speak.
It'd be all set now, Chair.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, this is Jim Peltier. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you for taking my call, and congratulations to all of you and Happy New Year. I am Assistant Business Manager with IBEW Local 58 in Detroit. I am calling to give my support, and hopefully you can throw your support towards Rick Preuss. I've known Rick for a better part of 25 years. I've worked with him out in the field, working with the tools of the trade, and then I've worked with him the past 5 years representing the members of Local 58, and I know how much Rick, how passionate he is about representing our members, but he's also very passionate about Wayne County and his neighbors and the residents of Wayne County that he lives around, lives with, and hopefully will be representing here in the near future as a new commissioner. So I just wanted to throw my support towards Rick. Appreciate you taking my call, and I hope everybody has a safe 2021.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Anyone else on the phone?
Good morning. My name is Paul McAdams, and congratulations, Madam Chair and Wayne County Commissioners, on your election. Thank you for your service to our community. I had the distinct pleasure of meeting Rick Preuss about a decade ago while serving on the Central Labor Council with him, and I have yet to meet anyone as dedicated to improving the lives of the working folks in our region. Rick Preuss has again and again demonstrated what integrity and dedication to improving the lives of his brothers and sisters is all about. I would just like to say that Rick Preuss would be a great asset to the Wayne County Commission and the citizens of District 2, and we would hope that you would appoint him to fill out this vacancy. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the phone line.
We have Miss Sherry Johnson. Chair, her hand has been raised for quite some time.
Okay, thank you. Let me take phone lines and I'll go to Sherry last. Anyone else on the phone? Anyone else on the phone? Okay, looks like we've looks like we've exhausted all of the public comments on the phone and hands being raised in Zoom. So at this time, I'd like to go to Sherry Johnson. I'm sorry, hold on. Mr. Gray, were you raising your hand?
Yes.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Gray.
Thank you so much, and thank you to all of the commissioners. I rise in support of Rick Preuss. I have been a recipient of Rick Preuss' generosity. He has provided affordable housing for many individuals like me that were priced out of different neighborhoods. I was able to reside in a comfortable home at an affordable price in District 2. I know firsthand all of the support that he has provided for kids, for teens, for adults who need jobs, sometimes buying clothes for them just to make sure that they have what they needed for cold weather gear to work outside. Rick Preuss' dedication is not just a 9-to-5 job. It's what he does every single day. He's in nursing homes, providing care for them. He's out in the community, providing apprenticeship programs throughout the city. And so I rise in total and complete support for Rick Preuss. He is the type of public servant that we need. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, Ms. Sherry Johnson.
Good morning, Chairwoman.
Good morning.
Okay, I would first of all like to congratulate all the commissioners on their reelection. I would like to say that you all did an excellent job with the committee to recommend a person for Commissioner Ware's seat. However, I'm deeply saddened by the loss of Commissioner Ware.
Hold on, Sherry. We're going to mute all the lines so we won't be interrupted. Mute all the lines, please. Octavia, except for Sherry. Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ms. Johnson.
Yeah, I am deeply
Wait a
saddened.
minute. You'll have some feedback.
I'm going through the list of names now, Chair.
Hello.
Hold on, sir. We have someone speaking at this time. Octavia, please mute everyone except for Ms. Sherry Johnson. Mute everyone, including commissioners. Commissioners can unmute themselves. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Johnson.
Thank you. I'm really saddened by the loss of the Honorable Jewel Ware, who was my employer, my neighbor, a good friend. I've been in District 2 for 23 years, and the commissioner, we go back, and we had a personal relationship as well as a work relationship. However, you interviewed a lot of excellent people, and I know only one seat can be chosen, and I respect the fact that you all nominated Jonathan Kinlock for this seat. And we need someone who's going to be transparent as well as approachable, someone who can communicate on all levels, city, state, county, federal level. And I support your decision in Jonathan Kinlock. Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you so much. And I think we have one more person that just indicated in the chat, Mr. Chris Jackson. If you can unmute Mr. Chris Jackson.
Good morning, Madam Chair, and to the commission. First and foremost, I am a resident of District 2. I was very close friends of Commissioner Ware, and I just want to give tribute to her and her legacy and all the hard work she did for this district. I'm also a business owner and a property owner. I pay a lot of taxes in Wayne County in the city of Detroit, and I own 2 properties, major developments in District 2. And one of the things that Commissioner Ware did for us is that she bridged the connection, or created a bridge for those of us in the development community, those of us who lived here, those of us who are looking to work here and the community together, bringing everyone together when major developments were taking place, when major projects were taking place. And Jonathan Kinlock has those same qualities and skill sets of bringing people together of all walks of life. And I've known Jonathan for over 30 years. I highly recommend him for this position. I think the commissioner would have and had always, and I knew she knew him personally, would have looked at him as a successor and to keep the momentum that she and how she fostered community and business together. So as a resident of District 2, I just want to reiterate my support for him. And I know that he will be a good colleague for you and the others. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson, for tuning in with us. And the last person that I see is Ms. Gibbs.
Okay. Good morning, Madam Chairwoman. Good morning, everyone. My name is Theta Gibbs, and I am offering my support of Mr. Rick Preuss. I have known Mr. Preuss for the past 6 years, and I want to echo what everyone else has said here, specifically in the capacity of being a former resident of Detroit and a member of the Foyer Community Black Club within District 6. Within the Foyer Community Black Club, there are many seniors here who over the past few decades have been working very diligently to maintain the safety and the functioning of the community. One of the things that has happened is for several years, public lights have been out within the community. And many seniors have felt unsafe, and families with kids have also felt unsafe. Even though this is not Mr. Preuss's district, he has been very instrumental in working with the members of the Foyer Community Black Club to ensure that those lights have gotten turned back on, which has made a tremendous difference for the public safety inside the community. In addition to the trade programs that he has supported, if you know him, you see him individually reach out to young people in the community. So there are several young people that we can name who we know who he has helped to usher through college, which is a major deal for our Detroit residents. He has also helped to usher young people that we know into trade programs. And beyond that, as a community member, he engages and builds community with families. So if there are families who are financially strapped or in need, he leverages his friends and community members to make sure that we are looking out for each other, whether it's clothes or food or anything else. So thank you so much. We fully support Mr. Rick Preuss.
Thank you so much, Ms. Gibbs. We have two last speakers, Brian Richard.
This is Joe Blanding. How do I get on the list?
Oh, Joe Blanding. Well, let me go to Mr. Brian Richard.
Yes.
And then we'll put Joe Blanding. You'll be after Mr. Richard.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Brian Richard. I'm the business manager with the Electrical Workers Union Local 58. And I'm calling today, obviously, on behalf of Rick Preuss. So Rick Preuss is a 20 plus year member of this local, and I could not think of a better candidate to represent Wayne County on the commission. Rick Preuss embodies Wayne County, not only in District 2, but across the county. He is a tireless worker. He's a tireless advocate. Not only is his commitment strong and his loyalty unquestionable, and that's proven in his dedication to the organization he belongs to, the IBEW. But when we get outside of the labor movement, the faith community, the business community, the political community, everyone knows Rick Preuss. And there's a reason everyone knows Rick Preuss, because he's there, he shows up, he's active, he's a tireless helper. And not only is Rick equally comfortable with the most powerful leaders in the community, Rick is a guy that will go down to a street corner in a tough zip code and maybe talk to the young people that are hanging out and tell them there's some other paths, there's some other ways, there's some other opportunity out there. Not only explain them, help them, guide them to those opportunities. I know we've been great beneficiaries in the building trades by Rick steering
He
people,
found me.
to our respective organizations. So I know that everybody's time is valuable. I would just like to reiterate that Rick Preuss, again, represents Wayne County in every way, shape, and form. And to me, it's an obvious choice for him to fill some huge shoes with the passing of Commissioner Ware. And again, I think he's the perfect candidate for the job. So thank you, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you, Mr. Richard. Mr. Blanding, Joe Blanding?
Yes, ma'am. How are you, Madam Chairman?
Good, how are you?
I'm a retired UAW staff member. And I'm listening to you, and it sounds like you have a lot of good candidates. Question, I have more of a question, I guess, than a response. Aren't we going to have an election in the county for the sheriff replacement?
This is not a Q&A, but I do not believe there will be an election until next year.
You got to relate to the sheriff. Why not have a race for both? Let the people pick best candidate.
Thank you. That's not the way the sheriff position is filled, but thank you for your comment.
How is the sheriff position going to be filled?
And this is the public comments is not a time for back and forth, but I will just say that there's a 3-member panel of the probate chief judge, the prosecutor, and the clerk. They appoint countywide elected officials when there's a vacancy. Thank you. Mr. Jewell.
What do you make of Adam Kinzinger? He's the first Republican to support the 25th Amendment.
Mr. Jewell? Or Miss Jewell, I'm sorry. Last name Jewell, Jewell?
It's Jana from Commissioner Ware's office.
Oh, you're on 2 phones?
Oh,
okay.
No. I'm on the tablet, the iPad.
Okay, go ahead, Jana.
I'm sorry. So good morning, Chair Brown. I have worked with Commissioner Ware, as well as we did have a personal relationship, as she watched me and my siblings grow up, and she was watching my daughter grow up as well.
We are going to bring that to you as we are learning more about the rest of what's happening.
As we prepare to fill her seat, we do need someone that is very open, for communication, very clear. And I'll just say I would like to see Jonathan Kinlock. I'll support him filling that seat.
Thank you, Jana. Thank you, ma'am. And now I do still see a hand for MIKHAL. The hand is still up. MIKHAL, last name Jewell. Is that your phone still, Donna? Okay. Okay, so we've had phone comments and Zoom comments. Are there any other comments in the chat to be read? Hearing none. I think we've exhausted everyone who wanted to speak has spoken. We appreciate your comments of everyone who took time to participate. You don't have to do that, but you did. That means this is very important to you. And I thank you for everyone who came on the line and on Zoom to do such. Public comments are a very important part of government, and we don't take it lightly, and we appreciate you taking your time to give us your comments. At this time, I'd like to go to the next item on the agenda, please.
Next item is ratification of actions taken by Commissioner Alicia R. Bell, acting as chair of the commission and the special committee on rules as of January 1, 2021.
Vice Chair Palomero.
Move approval.
There's support.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Killeen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's different. There's been a lot of moving parts to this. And I have some comments both on this agenda item and the next one. I'm a little confused as to what this agenda item is.
Sure.
That
I can have counsel explain that to you. Counsel?
If I may ask a question, Madam Chair.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I am unaware of all of the whatever boards and everything I've sat on, the notion of ratification of the actions. Is this a legal requirement that the Wayne County Commission ratifies these actions? Is this a legal thing?
Council Johnson.
Good morning. Through the chair, commissioners, as you are aware, on January 1, this body began a new 2-year term for the 21-22 term. Unfortunately, due to these unprecedented times and with the loss of beloved Commissioner Ware, it was necessary to fill the vacancy in District 2. Now, Commissioner Bell began that process to fill that vacancy as chair in the 2019-2020 term when she was as chair of the commission. It was necessary to continue that process prior to today's meeting in order to make sure that this body meets all statutory deadlines and to ensure that the work of this body is done in a timely manner. Commissioner Bell graciously continued to oversee the process of filling the vacancy and to continue to ensure that the work of this body was done prior to today's meeting. So it was my suggestion as counsel that all actions taken with regards to that prior to this meeting, beginning January 1, which is the first day of this term, that they be ratified because, again, today is the first meeting where a chair was officially appointed as chair, but because it was necessary to ensure that the business continued, Commissioner Bell did so, and the Rules Committee did so as well. So it was my recommendation as counsel, under these circumstances, for these unprecedented times, that those actions simply be ratified because they occurred before the first meeting of the year.
Thank you, counsel, but I really don't think that answers my question. Should the commission vote not to ratify today, does that make all the actions illegal?
Through the chair, I would not say that they make the actions illegal. Again, the only actions that really were taking were recommendations and moving the process forward. But because those roles were not officially in place prior to this meeting, I simply recommended ratification of those roles. But the first action of the year occurred today with all commissioners. So I don't think there are any actions that I would say would be illegal. It was just a technical matter to make sure that just because they had not been in place prior to today's meeting.
Thank you, counsel. Because then I have, well, let me preface a few things that, because I do think we have to go back, counsel. When this first came up, X number of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and initially the idea was out there that the law gave the commission either 30 days to appoint or to set a special election. And that got out into the ether and into the emails. As my colleagues will recall, I immediately sent out a Dear Colleague letter suggesting that we opt for a special election. And I put grave doubts on 14 people that do not live in District 2 as being the folks that decide who is going to represent District 2 for an entire term. And then that was clarified, counsel, by your memo, I think in the next day or two, that the law was we didn't have the option to call a special election. and that we had to do this within 30 days. And we had already burned a little bit of our time in coming to the realization that it had to be 30 days. And that certainly put everybody under the gun, and decisions were made quickly. And I think sitting here today in retrospect, I would hope that we could all see as commissioners that perhaps the process wasn't as good as it could be. I'm not speaking today of the individual involved in the next agenda item. What I'm speaking on is two things, principle and process. For me, it's an absolute principle that there had to be input from the formal input from citizens of District 2 in some fashion or another. And this is not the place to have that conversation, but that did not happen. And then also as a question of process, I don't know what all the decisions were that led up to this. For instance, I hear rumors that there were 15 people that submitted their names to be part of consideration for this position. Subsequently, we see that there were 9 names of people that were interviewed. I have no idea, assuming there was 15, what happened to the other 6 people and what decisions were made that people that had applied did not make it to the committee for consideration. So without some sort of a report as to what, and there's other actions that were taken too, or not taken. You know, we see from the committee that's charged with the appointment of the sheriff that they have gone to the state and said, wait a minute, this is real onerous. You have given us way too short a time, and we want an opinion as to if we run over the time, whether that would be illegal and that would be challengeable. I don't know whether or not we had those conversations internally. So there are a number of things, and without a report as to what all the actions were, I don't know how I can vote to ratify this.
Okay. So thank you, Commissioner. Council, would you like to respond, or I can move on to the next speaker?
If you would like, I can offer the fact that the only actions that were taken this year, the process to determine how the appointment will be filled was determined in the last term, and it was distributed to commissioners in the last term. The actions that were taken this term as of January 1 were the meeting of the Rules Committee. So the Rules Committee had 3 meetings this year. And those were the actions that are referred to with regards to this item that's before you today. It was the meetings and the actions that took place this year, which again were the Rules meeting where the interviews and deliberations took place.
Thank you, Council. But that being said, I still don't know what happened to what I presume are 6 people that applied. And I don't know why they didn't move forward to the committee. You are discussing right now action since January 1. And the committee met and started having hearings, I believe, on January 4th. So was it this year or last year that 6 names of people that applied were taken off the list and didn't make it to committee? And of course, then there's, the reason why those names were taken off. So I don't know. I don't have a report that says since January 1, the chair of the commission has taken these actions, and we would like the commission to ratify that. Again, since I don't have a report, and we don't know everything in the form of a report, I'm still a little bit baffled on how I can vote on something that I don't have information on.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Let me just say on the memo dated December 21st that all commissioners received, one of the bullet points says, all credentials will be reviewed by the chair of the commission, and the commission will select a number of candidates for interviews. One of the candidates And again, this was discussed during, excuse me, during the Rules Committee meetings that we had. We had 3 Rules Committee meetings, and at each of those meetings, I stated that we had 15 candidates, and 6 were not considered for various reasons. One being that they were not of the same party. Others reasons being because of their length of time that they lived in the district. One person lived there for 6 months, another person for just a couple of years. So it was the discretion of the chair to choose the best seated candidates to move forward, and that is what I did.
And Madam Chair, I preface my comments by saying this was dumped on us, and a lot of decisions had to be made.
Absolutely.
I will say at this juncture here, although I've totally enjoyed all of the comments on Rick Preuss, and being a longtime East Sider, I know the Preuss family going back at least 3 generations on the East Side, a family that not only includes organized labor and all the testimony we heard today, but also clergy that has worked on the East Side and longtime East Side business owners. And I have enjoyed hearing the comments on the Preuss, and makes me reflect on Preuss family, which the Colleens have known going back a few generations. However, I am going to support the recommendation of the committee. Because of the short timelines and giving leeway for the fact that decisions had to be made and had to be made very quickly. But as I said previous, and I don't know where to put this in my comments, I think it is appropriate at this point, because I think we have all learned.
He's black, he's white, he's here, he's there.
Please, everyone, mute yourself. Thank you. And if
He's
not,
probably
David,
out there
you
like
mute
Preuss.
everyone. Thank you.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I think we have all learned, Madam Chair, that if we had another turn at the bat at this, that there might be a few things that we do different. And so I'm very hopeful that either in the Rules Committee as reconstituted or some other committee, that the commission spend a couple of 3 months and design a process that we can be ready for on day 1 from everything that we learned, assuming, of course, that the state law remains as it is with the 30 days. And we may want to do some lobbying and lancing on that as we see objections are being raised. I believe the Committee for the Sheriff called it an onerous law. And so, but assuming that doesn't change, when it comes up for appointments, I think we should take this experience, learn from it, and sit down and write procedures for the next time that there's an appointment, that we are ready on day 1 to take full use of those 30 days. I don't think, and again, I'm not blaming anybody here, Madam Chair, but I think, we probably lost a week at the beginning of the process trying to get our feet and where we're at. I did read the Rules Committee report that is here today. That mentions nothing about the other 6 individuals and what happened to them. So I don't have any information on that. And again, for this specific agenda item, I don't know what I'm voting on, because I don't know if we're saying from January 1st to today, what actions were taken. I don't have a report.
Okay, Commissioner, thank you. Thank you for that. Any other discussion on this item?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Becker McCormick.
Just a couple of comments, and just for a point of clarification of some of the things that Commissioner Colleen mentioned. And first, I just want to clarify the actual law as far as appointment and having a special election. So I just wanted our corporate counsel to just clarify for the public what does the law actually say.
Okay, Council, you can answer that, but we can have that kind of falls under the next item that we can have a full discussion on it. But so I don't know if you just wanted to answer that now, then we can get into a full fledged discussion on when we have the report out from the Rules Committee. Commissioner Council, if you could repeat the law, please.
Yes, through this honorable body, through the chair. Excuse me. So state law MCL 46.412 requires this body, the Wayne County Commission, to appoint an individual to fill the vacancy in the office of commissioner and to do so within 30 days. State law further says that the individual appointed will serve for the unexpired term, which in this case is 2 years. Now, if this body does not comply with state law and does not actually make an appointment within that 30-day time frame, then state law says that a special election will be required to fill the vacancy.
Does that answer your question, Commissioner?
Yes, it does. I just wanted that to be clear, and I'll address my other comments in the next item, under the next item.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion on this particular item? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote for this item, please.
Commissioner Killeen?
Unmute. Given my comments previous, I'm obliged to abstain. Thank you.
Commissioner Scott? Commissioner Scott? Commissioner Varga?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman?
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick?
Abstain.
Chair Bell?
Yes.
Commissioner Kniezek?
Abstain.
Commissioner Marecki?
Yes.
Commissioner Dobb?
Yes.
Commissioner Haddis?
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson?
I also will abstain.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun?
Yes.
Commissioner Basham?
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomero?
Yes.
Commissioner Scott?
Yes, I'm sorry, I was muted. I abstained.
Motion carries. The yeas have it.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Next item is the report from the Special Committee on Rules, and that is the addenda item. Item number 1, the Special Committee on Rules recommends the appointment of Jonathan Kinlock to fill the District 2 vacancy.
Okay, so now I think it's a great opportunity for commissioners to weigh in on the Rules Committee, as was pointed out earlier. And again, everyone received the memo dated December 21st on the process. Unfortunately, again, as I stated numerous times, no one wanted to be in this position. The unexpected, untimely death of our dear friend and colleague threw all of us for a loop, but we had to act. And I asked the attorneys to give us the provisions and how should we go forward. And in such process was determined up on the website. People could upload their resumes and cover letters. As stated, we received 15 resumes. One was a Republican, and that was not allowed because it had to be a same party. Others, as I went through looking at the depth of their experience or the length of time in that district, I narrowed it down to 9. We interviewed those 9 people on Monday and Tuesday. We received all of the support letters from just about anyone and everyone in Southeast Michigan who could support, sent the different candidates that they supported. We looked at the interviews. I even looked at the interviews again on yesterday because they were all recorded, just to make sure that I heard what I heard and that they presented and answered the questions that we had, each and every commissioner. So it brought us to yesterday when the Rules Committee came out a motion to refer Jonathan Kinlock to fulfill the seat in Wayne County Commission District 2, and we're going to have a discussion on that. I know that Mr. Kinlock is here as well. If there are any questions that commissioners would like to ask of him, because the Rules Committee consisted of 5 of us, but there are commissioners who may have questions that were not on the Rules Committee. So at this time, I am going to open it up to comments, questions, concerns from the commissioners. And I'll go and see who has a hand raised, either virtually or on Zoom. Any questions, comments? Commissioner Palomero, I see you waving your hand.
Yes,
Go ahead,
thank
sir.
you. Thank you, Madam Chair. And I just want to supplement what you said in regards to the state law that we're bound by.
You know,
that is a
if Bruce wasn't a
statutory change.
drunken, gambling womanizer.
Hold on one second. Octavia, please mute everybody. Everyone, if you're online, please mute your phone and telephone and Zoom. Thank you. Go ahead, Vice Chair.
Thank you again, Madam Chair. The statute that we're bound by that says the commission shall make an appointment within 30 days, that is a fairly recent change to state law, about 7 years, I believe. And we have, and I want to give credit where credit's due. We have 2 current commissioners who were serving in the legislature at the time, who voted against that change in state law. So as much as we wish we could appoint for a short-term basis and then let the people choose in a special election later this year, that is not an option. The option is either to leave the seat vacant for several months or to make an appointment and allow representation from that district. So I will be voting to support filling that seat per state statute. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I'm looking for hands. Commissioner Marecki.
You're on mute.
Unmute yourself, Commissioner Marecki. Commissioner Marecki, you're on mute. There you go.
Okay, that's weird. Okay, I just want to thank the committee for all the hard work they did. I was at all the committee meetings and listened to everything, listened to all the fine candidates we had that applied and put themselves forward for this position. I appreciate one of the people that we interviewed came forward and explained some legal trouble she had gotten into in the past. She wanted us to know, and I appreciated that. To my great surprise, this morning at 9 o'clock, I received a text from someone that sent an article to me about our current candidate, Jonathan Kinlock, that was written by a reporter in Florida named Stephen Dybert, I believe is how you say it. And he didn't have too many nice things to say about Mr. Kinlock, but I was wondering if it would be appropriate, Madam Chair, to go through you, if I could ask Mr. Kinlock a couple questions, because I guess the unsettling thing to me is I received this an hour before we started our meeting today at 10, which doesn't give me much time to even investigate this article at all. And this is a big decision for this commission, and it's a big decision for me as this is one of my votes. So would that be appropriate?
That is fine. Again, we are in unusual times and unique situations, and I think that is appropriate. Mr. Kinlock, are you on the phone?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Thank
you.
You
can address the question from Commissioner Marecki.
Thank you,
yes,
Madam Chair. Thank
Commissioner
you,
Marecki.
Yes, I'm I'm sure you're aware that that the commissioners received an email. I did not see the email. I received a text from someone this morning with this article. And I'm wondering if you could just answer a couple things. Again, I don't like being blindsided by information when this is such an important vote. Are you a convicted felon?
Okay, can you repeat that?
Are you a convicted felon?
Oh, no, absolutely not. That article came. We were, as you know, I'm chair of the 13th Congressional District. The 13th Congressional District Executive Committee made a decision to pass a resolution criticizing President Trump for his statements made as it relates to various medications during the early days of the COVID-19. So we passed a resolution sanctioning one of the members of the Democratic caucus. And from that, the Republicans started attacking and making up a whole host of things. I say for the record that I am not a convicted felon and have not been convicted of a felon, have not been pardoned or any other action necessary to clear that up. They made up a number of things in that article. And that's, like you said, that's not a typical news article. That's a blog. It's a Republican right-leaning blog and many folks who are aware of, you know, the various blogs and citizen platforms. So no, so they made up a whole bunch of stuff. I didn't even know many of those folks and statements and things that were made in that article. So it's absolutely, they sent it earlier on to the it was received by my employers at SEIU. They sent some folks had sent it all over the place right when it was made, but no legitimate media has done that. If you look at that, if you Google my name, you'll see over the last 25 years various positions and actions that is honorable. And that unfortunately, I am not a convicted felon and have never been convicted of a felony. And plus I have a CPL that I had presented to the chair, as well as I am a closing agent. I'm a notary and do closing agent work, which I'm bonded in various roles that I serve. I'm bonded, and you cannot be a convicted felon serving in many of the roles that I serve in.
Okay, thank you. I would just like to disagree on one thing that you said. I actually called the reporter this morning when I received this. He is a registered Democrat, and he sent me his registration card in Florida, and he was also very involved in Democratic politics here in Michigan when he lived.
You want me to leave this on?
And
well, I don't know him. All you know is that Madam Commissioner, I know that platform. I don't know the gentleman, but I could tell you this: I'm not a convicted felon. Period. Okay. Yep.
Okay. Could you just enlighten us on a couple of things in the article then about the assault charge?
Jesus.
And the drunk driving, what happened many years ago.
Yes, 20-some years ago. Yes.
Yes. But I'd like to know more about the assault charge.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Many individuals on this Zoom meeting are aware of what they're active in the 13th Congressional District Commission. You had a number of folks who came into our meeting when I first became chair and would disrupt the meetings and would and just create. It was just, the meetings were pretty much out of control. One of the persons, Marie Thornton, who is in that article, stated that I had slammed her door in, this was a couple of years ago, slammed her arm in a metal door at one of the UAW facilities. It was in front of 30 people. She, Brenda Hill, and a number of other individuals claimed that they saw something that did not happen. They also, when we went to court before a jury trial, Marie Thornton did testify that she did not go to the hospital, that she did not have any wounds. She testified enough. So they asked, they brought people in who didn't even know who the chair was. It was just very unfortunate. But the jury found me not guilty. And afterwards, they indicated to the judge when they were, I guess they called polled. They said that they told the judge that they had no credit, that those witnesses and had no credibility from the moment that they had began their testimony. So no, I was not convicted of that. It was outrageous, and you have commissioners who's on this line who are very familiar with that because they are officers involved and very engaged in a community and within the 13th district. So no, that was not an assault charge. It was, they were angry because we endorsed Mike Duggan for mayor.
Okay, and that was the only assault charge.
The allegation, yes. It never again. Anyone knows me, know I'm not violent. I haven't had any type of issue since I was 11 years old, and that's the truth.
Is there anything else that we should know about? Because again, I'm disappointed that I saw this at 9 o'clock in the morning, and
I understand.
And it's just kind of unnerving. So
I know, I understand.
Is there anything else that you want to say?
No,
that would make me feel better.
The only thing I can tell you is this: that I have not had any issues or contacts with law enforcement other than supporting the various initiatives of whatnot. Marie Thornton, because of even that mere allegation, I'm even more cautious, even though I had never touched her or was anywhere near her in that regard, but I'm even more cautious now in how I interact with individuals, and we've put pieces in place. So what I'm telling you is that no, you do not have to worry about me embarrassing myself or getting into any type of legal issues. I have, like I said, I serve on various different roles in which I've served admirably. I've served honorably. And have done what I am supposed to do. So you do not have to worry about me doing anything that would embarrass myself, my family, or anyone in this commission or community.
Okay, thank you for your
thank you
for your answers.
Thank
you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other questions, Commissioner Marecki?
No, I'm all set. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Monique Baker McCormick, and then Commissioner Anderson.
Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. I was in the meetings for most and all of the interviews in the Rules Committee. So I do want to thank that committee of 5. I know they had to make a difficult choice. I also want to thank the chair and appreciate her leadership in this difficult process. As I indicated earlier, Jewel was my mentor and my friend. So I really want to get and seek out the best qualified person that would fill her or try to, no one could ever fill her chair, but to take over in her absence. And so to set the record straight, I have known Jonathan Kinlock for many years in many different capacities at the school board level, the 13th Congressional District, and currently we serve on the Detroit-Wayne County Port Authority. And I respect him as a person and as a community leader. I also know many of the candidates that would have been or could have been great members and colleagues to the commission. However, a lot of you know and were on the commission a little over 2.5 years ago before I became and was elected a commissioner for my district in Northwest Detroit. My predecessor, Burton Leland, stepped down from his seat, which he had actually planned to do so because he knew that he was sick. And he knew that there was a flaw in the process of the appointment process of the commission. He knew that if he waited into the even number year or odd number year, whichever one it is, that he could then step down and then he could pick and choose whoever he wanted to be in his seat, and the commission would go along with it. And I said then, and I say now, that the process is flawed. I would be hypocritical to say anything differently, to not vet a candidate by the people in the district, not by a 5-member board. I think it is not very representative of the people of that district. And when I finally was elected as commissioner in my first term at a rules committee meeting, I addressed that issue, that same issue of the appointing a vacancy to the commission. I said it was flawed then, and it's still flawed. So for me, we need a process in place. We need to figure out what that looks like. And in this case, because it is a full term, my suggestion would have been to have a special election and let the people decide, or at least a more robust discussion in the district of District 2, where the vacancy occurred. I also believe, and believe then and believe now, that the people's voice matters. An open seat should be open to the public to decide. And this, I believe, about any seat that becomes vacant, whether it be my seat or in this case, the Honorable Jewel Ware, and also with the Honorable Benny Napoleon, especially because these are full-term seats. This is not a 1 year or 6 month term. This is a full term. And so that is why I have to abstain from this vote. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Killeen. I'm sorry, I said Commissioner Anderson was next. I'm sorry. Commissioner Anderson, then Commissioner Killeen.
Thank you,
That's what I thought, Madam Chair. I was behind.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask, when will the floor be open for other nominations? Is this a time to do that?
This is a discussion time. So do you have anything you'd like to discuss on the matter?
Just nomination. I too, as Commissioner Baker McCormick stated, and I know Commissioner Killeen had earlier also, I believe this should be a special election filling the seat. And apparently that's not the way this is going to go by what has been outlined by the chair. But if this is the process we're going to use, I do want to place a couple of names in for consideration by the commission when that time comes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Commissioner Killeen.
Okay, I'm unmuted. Thank you, Madam Chair. I thought I heard Commission Counsel say that under the law, we have 30 days to appoint. And if we don't, there would be a special election.
Yes.
Under the old law that Commissioner Palomero was discussing, under that law, the commission, I think, could set the time and place or whatever of that special election. So I want to ask Commission Counsel that if we do not appoint within 30 days, and by the way, I have no idea where we are in the 30-day process. That's not been in any of the paperwork. Are we on day 6? Are we on day 27? I don't know. But Commission Counsel, if we fail to appoint within those 30 days, there will be a special election, and how is that determined?
Through the chair to this honorable body. So pursuant to state law, if this body does not make an appointment within the 30-day time period, then the vacancy, as stated in state law, shall be filled by a special election. According to state law, this body will call the special election. So if it's not filled within 30 days, it must be filled by special election. This body will call the special election, but the special election must be called within the parameters of law. And according to the parameters of law, the special election would have to occur on a regular election date, which is May, August, or November.
Correct. Yes, and many of our colleagues were there when they changed the law and reduced the number of specified days to have an election. So I'm going to have to amend my earlier comment, Madam Chair. The assertion that special elections is not an option is not a correct assertion. We have more than a 30-day appointment window in what we can decide. So, Madam Chair, I'm going to put a motion on the floor. I'm going to move.
If you could you, if you don't mind, Commissioner, I will absolutely take your motion. But can I just ask that other commissioners that just have other comments weigh in before you make a motion? And then Commissioner
well, no, Madam Chair, I want to make
Anderson
the motion. I want to make the motion, put it on the floor, see what the commission does with it, and then go on with other comments.
Okay, go ahead.
I think it's, so I move, Madam Chair, that we reject the report from the Rules Committee and let the people vote. That's my motion. Thank you, Madam Chair.
I support. Baker McCormick, support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. And I'm sorry, your motion, just to be clear, is to reject the report?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Any discussion on that motion?
Yes, Madam the Chair, is the motion to reject the recommendation of the Rule Committee, and then after that, we should proceed with nomination, or that it's include to go to special election?
Let me have counsel to weigh in, because as I see it, these are the options.
And where
we can reject the report. We can reject the report. If that motion fails, there can be another another motion to accept the report. If that motion fails, and Felicia, listen, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. If the motion to accept the nomination fails, then we can have a nomination, another nomination from the floor. If that nomination fails and we do not come up with a name, today is the 30th day. And if we do not act today, then we will go into a special election situation. And since we're talking about special elections, let me just say this. It was very unfair for Congressional District 13 to not have representation in Congress after John Conyers. I would hate to have the residents of District 2 to go a year, a half a year, 8, 9, 10, 11 months with no representation. I think they deserve to have someone to begin working with them as soon as possible. Taxation without representation, I don't feel is fair. So that's my 2 cents on how to proceed and going forward. But I'm going to have our counsel reiterate what would happen with these different motions. So your motion, Commissioner, was to reject the report, correct?
Yes, Madam Chair. And since Commissioner Haydes asked the question, and since we are on the 30th day, Commissioner Haydes, my intention here in making this motion is to take the commission, which are 14 non-residents of District 2, out of the picture and put the decisions back into the hands of the voters of that district. And Madam Chair, I believe May, and I don't know the exact date in May, is the first opportunity for a special election. So we're talking a few months. And for me, the price of democracy of having the people select their own representatives instead of selecting it before them, I would certainly be willing to wait the couple of months and let all of these good candidates go out there and make their case with their voters. And again, I am not discussing any individual candidate or throwing shade. Mr. Kinlock and I have known each other for a long time. Jonathan knows exactly what I'm proposing here and why I'm doing it. It's not personal. It's not, I want to let the citizens of District 2 vote. And if they can have a vote in a couple of months here in May, that is the purpose to my motion. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And further discussion, let me go.
Madam the Chair.
I'm sorry.
The question is today, it's the 30 days?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So if we were to have a special election, as you all know, special elections cost money. If we were to have a special election, one, again, I think that is a disservice to the residents of District 2 to go all the way until August, which would be the next election in the city of Detroit. So that's when the election would be, and that would be a primary. And then the general would be in November. So what you're saying is if we have a special election, it would be not until November until someone is seated in that seat. And that would be almost an entire year. And then they would have to go back and run for that seat, obviously, with the rest of us in August of 2022. So I very much discourage having the residents of District 2 have no representation for that long of a time, especially when you know that during the summertime, we do one of the most important functions of our job, which is the budget. So that district have no input in the budget, no input as we figure out the COVID-19 situation still, no input into anything until November. So that is my 2 cents on why I am supporting appointing someone to represent the people of District 2 on today and not waiting until August and then November, have an election for someone to take that seat and having the people of District 2 not represented for almost an entire year. I'll take questions or additional comments from any of my colleagues on this motion to reject. Commissioner Baidoon.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So what you just said, Madam Chair, the earliest for a special election would be August, not in May.
Correct, because I would not want to tax our taxpayers with the cost of a special election in May.
How much would that cost, Madam Chair, just out of curiosity for a special election? Does anybody know in this body?
We have not had a special election since I don't know. I was gonna say 2003 was the last time we were in this predicament for the special election. I don't know if there's been any in any cities or townships in Wayne County, but we haven't had one in Wayne County government since 2003.
Yeah, since today is the 30th day, Madam Chair, I am in favor of filling the seat today. And I don't think it's fair for the residents of the 2nd District to stay without representation until November. That's a whole year. So I am in favor of selecting one of these wonderful candidates today. And by the way, I want to applaud all of them that stepped forward to serve, and we should make a decision today. And Commissioner Palomero stated it so eloquently as to why we should select today. We don't have time. If we don't do it today, that means we're going to go into November. So if somebody is elected in August, they cannot serve until January of 2022, and then they have to run again that year. So I am in support of filling this seat today.
Thank you. Commissioner Baker McCormick, and then Commissioner Killeen.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
I'm sorry, let me do Commissioner Baker McCormick, then Melissa, Commissioner Dodd, because she hasn't spoken yet. Go ahead, Commissioner Baker McCormick.
I just wanted to get clarification from our corporate counsel. She just indicated that we would choose the month in which a special election mandated by the state, not us choosing whether we have it in August or November or whatever date. The state has mandated that if we don't select or appoint someone in 30 days, that we shall have a special election in May? I need to clarify that. What is the law, and when would we have to have a special election or choose to have a special election?
Commission Counsel.
So through the chair, Commissioner, so state law says that if the appointment is not filled within 30 days, that it shall be filled by a special election. State law authorizes this body to call that special election. State law does not determine what date the election will be called. So this body has discretion on the date. However, the date that the commission selects must be consistent with election law. And election law provides that it must be a regular election date, which will either be May, August, or November. Also note that because state law requires the election of commissioner to be partisan, there will be 2 elections. So whether that's May and August or August and November, there shall be 2 before the seat is actually filled.
Okay, and so saying that if we had a special election in May, then the candidates would move forward to the August primary. Is that correct?
May primary.
No, I'm asking, she said that we would have to have a partisan election in a special election. And if we have a partisan election, that would mean that we have 2 candidates. And then those 2 candidates would then move forward to the August primary election. Is that correct?
No.
I'm asking corporate counsel. I'm just trying to get clarification how the process will work.
You wouldn't necessarily have 2 candidates. Any party, any political party can nominate individuals, just like any election for commissioner for May. Then you'll have the May election, and then you'll have the final election in August. Yes.
Okay, so yes, there will be 2 separate elections. One a special election, and then they would move forward to the August primary election. And so in saying that, I still think that we should have a special election and let the people decide. I feel as though as a body, we usually don't vote that far apart where we're going to have a fight over an issue before a May or August election. And again, I have been put in this same position, so I understand how it feels to have someone selected in your district to represent you, and you have no say in it. And that is my problem with this process, and it needs to be changed. It is flawed. And I understand that we have great candidates, and I have nothing against any of the candidates. I just want it to be an open, fair process where the people of that district decide. Thank you very much.
To that point, Madam the Chair, to the
Go ahead, Commissioner
special
Hayes.
election. Thank you. My understanding, if there another election by the school board or city to be a May election, then the cost to the Wayne Commission would be way less. If there are no other election, then the total cost would be on the county commission.
Yes, and I don't know. Did you say there is a May election, Commissioner? I'm sorry to hear that.
No, I said we need to find out before we
find
make
out.
a decision today, yes.
Yeah.
Is
I
there
think
a way we can get Kathy Garrett on the line, maybe? Or someone from her office to clarify some things for us?
What do you need clarified, Commissioner?
As far as if there are any upcoming elections in May. We're talking about just a district. We're not talking about all of Wayne County. So that is going to reduce the cost of a special election. We're just talking about one area. She can probably clarify if there is already an election that may be coming up, and If not, what is the potential cost for just a district election?
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Okay, I'd just like to note that I'm currently still on the Wayne County Board of Canvassers. I would like to say that this district is entirely within the city of Detroit boundaries. The city of Detroit has not called a special election at this time for May.
Right. So the question is, and I'll give you my understanding again. The commission will call for an election. Our options of the months to call for an election would be May, August, or November. Personally, if this body called for an election, I would be in support of calling for that election in August when we already have an election underway in the city of Detroit. I would personally not call it in May, but I will call it in August when we already have an election, such that we don't tax the people in District 2 and the entire Wayne County for an election. Commissioner Dobb.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I've been giving this a lot of thought as to what I would want if this happened to me, if it were me that had passed away in December, and what I would want for my seat in my district. But I realized that it's not my seat. It's the district seat. It's a District 10 seat. So what would I want for the people of my community in District 10? And I don't think that I know that I wouldn't want them to go that long without someone representing them. So I would want them to have candidates nominated. I would like the local representatives in my community to come and speak and and give recommendations for those candidates. And I would like the members of this board to vote and to nominate someone to take over for that vacancy in my seat. So those are my thoughts on what we should do in this situation. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Let me just say for the commissioners, since Commissioner Dobb just spoke and she represents District 10, just a few years ago, we had a commissioner that stepped down in District 10. It was a Republican. He stepped down. We appointed someone, I want to say in March, April. That person had that seat until the following year. So for a year and a half, that person sat in that seat. There was an election and our dear Commissioner Dobb, a Democrat, won that seat. So that is a process. Appointing someone is not anything new, flawed or not. And I definitely, after this is over, we are going to put in some strict provisions on how we are not to be in this situation ever again. But it is not unusual for someone to sit in that seat for a year and a half, 6 months, 12 months. Thank you, and I'll go to Commissioner Hayes. You still have your iPad up. I don't know if you're still wanting to speak. If not, Commissioner Killeen.
Is that you? Am I waiting for Commissioner Hayes, Madam Chair?
I'm done.
No, he's
Commissioner
lower
Scott.
your hand, Commissioner Hayes. Thank you, Commissioner Killeen.
Sorry, Chair, that's Commissioner Scott with the iPad.
Oh, I'm sorry,
No,
I'm sorry.
it's not.
We have two people with iPads. Commissioner Scott, you haven't spoken yet. Go ahead, Commissioner Scott.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. It was mentioned regarding Congressman Conyers' seat. Now, would it work the same? He was without representation, but his staff was able to do the work. Now, would staff be able to do the work for Commissioner District 2?
We could probably work that out. They could do the work, but of course they wouldn't be voting, obviously. But they could probably still do community work. But as far as voting on matters and presenting resolutions and ordinance, they wouldn't be able to do that work of the commission.
Okay, because it seems to me that the Rules Committee they all went by one person from Detroit. They didn't have their own opinion, even though they were on the Rules Committee. And so I do have that concern.
I'm sorry, Commissioner. My computer went out. I'm sorry. You said your concern was what? I'm sorry.
Was that the people that was on, the commissioners that was on the Rules Committee, because they weren't from Detroit, they didn't really have an opinion or use an opinion. They went by the one person from Detroit. So I guess I had a concern about the Rules Committee not all speaking out because that was their responsibility.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. And after we hear from commissioners who weren't on the committee, I'll defer to those commissioners who were on the committee to see what their comments are.
Well, they made their comments. Okay.
Thank you. Oh, Commissioner Killeen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just me personally and my history, and those that know my history and my family's history with democracy and elections and access to voting and community engagement, that is rock solid. That is fundamental to what we do here. I bristle when there's a discussion of what is the price that we put on democracy. We don't know the cost of a special election. I see that the date that it would be May the 5th, about 4 months from now, just a little under 4 months from now. I do want to revisit the question of when the general would be. If the general is held for this seat, then in August, that is an election that's already occurring and we would bear no cost for that or very minimal. But for a special election in May, my question is, since we don't know the number, is $10,000 too much to do a special election? Should we say no? We should substitute the judgment of the commission for the citizens of that district because 10,000 is too much? Or is $1.5 million too much? Well, if you don't like $1.5 million, what if it's 800,000? What if it's 500,000? What if it's 350,000? What is the price of democracy here? And to me, fundamentally what we do is that we do pay the price to have a democracy. This is what's been going on since the ink on the Constitution dried, when the Constitution said, nope, women, you can't vote. Black people, we own you. You don't get to vote, but we will count you as 3/5 person so we can get more white people elected in the South. That was the Constitution the day it dried. And we've been fighting for people's rights to have their voice heard ever since. And that fight is continuing to today. So I have no concerns about the cost. I have had preliminary conversations, but without totals. But it's been pointed out, since this is not, if it was a Western Wayne district where there was like 6 communities involved, as far as expense, that would be more expensive. This is one community, City of Detroit. We don't have a number on that. I am not afraid of paying the price to have the citizens have their say in a democracy. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Before we go to a vote on the motion, is there any last comments? And Commission, Council, or Clerk, can you repeat the motion?
The motion is to reject the report, which is the recommendation of Jonathan Kinlock to fill the District 2 vacancy.
Okay, and if you vote yes, you're voting to reject. If you vote no, you're voting not to reject.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Marecki.
So this is actually the vote for Mr. Kinlock, or this is a vote to vote for somebody?
No.
Well, this is a vote.
Motion.
This is a motion to reject the report. And I guess by saying rejecting the report, are we rejecting the nomination? Is that your intent, Mr. Killeen?
Yes, Madam Chair, checking whether I was on mute or not. Yes, Madam Chair. The report contains one name for the commission to appoint to fill the vacancy. Yes, my motion to reject the report is exactly that, is to provide the opportunity for us to have a special election. Thank you.
Okay.
And I guess that's kind of two different things. So in my mind, I would say you are going to reject the report. So that's rejecting the recommendation. But then you're also saying you want to move to have a special election. So do you want to break those up or put them all in one?
No, Madam Chair, I am not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that the effect of my motion in rejecting the report, and now we all know this is on the 30th day, the motion to reject the report today automatically kicks it to a special election. That's a byproduct of it. I am not making that motion. I am making
No, it does not. It would allow someone to make a motion for another name, sir.
Right.
Well, that's going to be up to the chair, right? And up to the body at that point.
Well, I just wanted to be clear. I just wanted to be clear that that
my
is
motion
not
is my motion is to reject the report.
Okay.
What I'm hoping for that is that effectively puts an end to the commission picking and allows it to go to the voters to decide. If the commission wants to reject the report and then appoint somebody else, they are still within their rights under the law. But certainly my intent is to get the commissioners out of the picture and get the voters in the picture. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, and just to be clear before we vote, if this is rejected, there is an opportunity to, one, if that fails, to move to approve the report, and two, there's an opportunity after that to, if that fails, to recommend another name. So is everyone clear?
So, Madam the Chair, to be clear, either or on the motion, after that, we have the right to reopen the nomination?
We have the right to accept a motion to approve the report. If the report, if Colleen's motion fails, we can certainly take another motion to approve the report. If that motion fails, then we can take a motion to nominate someone else. If that motion fails, then we are left to not having a name and moving to the next phase, which is a special election.
That's something wrong right there, Madam the Chair. If we accept the report, that it's not vote for the nominee. It's mean we're accepting the report, and we should open the floor for more nomination if any commissioner need to nominate another person. But if we accept the report, as I understand now, it's mean we like to accept the report and the nominee in the report.
Correct.
Is that?
That's correct. And people can vote that up or down. So for example, we're about to vote on whether Commissioner Colleen's motion is to reject the report. I am going to vote no on that motion. If 8 people vote no, then I'll entertain another motion. If 8 people vote yes, we're done. Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you. It seems as though there should still be another opportunity before, if this fails and a motion is made just to accept the report, there should be an opportunity to have other names nominated from the ones that were reviewed by the committee.
It's what I thought.
Not going in the back door, you know.
Well, let's get through with this motion first, and then let's see what happens after we get through this motion, and then we can consult counsel on any appropriate next motions. Okay, so the motion.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Can we have some direction by the corporate counsel, because it sounds like everybody's kind of confused as to what we're voting up or down, and if we have an opportunity to nominate someone else. So this is really confusing.
I thought I was clear, but I guess not. So I'll allow Commission Counsel, see if she can be clearer.
Through the chair. So the motion before the body is to reject the report. The report is the recommendation to appoint Mr. Kentlock. So what's before you now is the motion to reject the appointment of Mr. Kentlock. If that motion fails, or even if that motion is, well, let me say this. If that motion is approved, then that means you're rejecting Mr. Kentlock, but there are still 8 other names available for a motion. If that motion fails, that means you're not rejecting Mr. Kentlock, and someone is then open to make a motion to approve the report, and approving the report would be approving and recommending approval of Mr. Kentlock for the position. Now, if you approve that motion by 8, then you made the appointment and there is no opportunity for more nominations, if that's understood. So once you approve a person and they get 8 votes, that person has that position and have been approved, and there is no opportunity for further names. If that person fails to get 8 votes, then that appointment, that motion essentially fails. Then you have an opportunity to go down the list until you find a person who gets 8 votes. But ultimately, you have to make a motion to make an appointment, and that person needs 8 votes in order to actually be approved for the position.
Thank you. And so this vote is not necessarily to vote him up or down. That's what I wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Varga?
Madam Chair, I had my hand up first.
I'm sorry. Did you, Commissioner Basham? Go ahead, Commissioner Basham.
Call the question.
But
Commissioner Varga.
I had a solution.
Commissioner
I would ask Commissioner. I would ask if Commissioner Colleen would ask for us to vote on whether we want to have a special election or not. I think that's what he's trying to do. And that way it doesn't work. Okay.
Okay. Question's been called. Again, state the, Madam Clerk, state the motion.
The motion is to reject the report from the Special Committee on Rules, which is the appointment.
And to vote yes, you're rejecting it. To vote no, you are moving it forward, or at least rejecting the motion. Correct, Counsel?
Yep. A yes vote is means that you are rejecting the appointment of Mr. Kentlock. A no vote simply means you're not rejecting that appointment.
Okay, thank you.
But it's not an approval.
Right, it's not an approval. You're just voting no on that motion. Okay, roll call vote.
Commissioner Colleen.
Yes, let the people vote.
Commissioner Scott. Commissioner Scott.
She's on mute.
You're on mute.
Commissioner Scott. Commissioner Varga.
Can you hear me? Can
Yes.
you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, then my motion is yes.
Commissioner Varga.
No.
Commissioner Clark Coleman.
I agree with the chair, and I'm going to vote no.
Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Yes. Let the people decide.
Chair Bell.
No.
Commissioner Kniezek.
No.
Commissioner Marecki.
No, sorry.
Commissioner Dobb.
No.
Commissioner Hattis.
No.
Commissioner Anderson. Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
No.
Commissioner Basham,
No.
Vice Chair Palomero,
No.
motion fails.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, Madam Clerk, wish you were the chair right now. Okay.
I like that one.
Okay, Madam Clerk, all right. Next item, because that was the ratification. Did we ever get through that?
Madam Chair, you are free to still take a motion on the item.
Yeah, so we are still on the report from the Special Committee on Rules recommending Jonathan Kinlock to the seat of County Commission District 2. Is there a motion on that?
I thought, Madam the Chair, to that point,
Yes.
I thought before you call the vote on one person, you're gonna open if there any other nomination.
Well,
It's-
yeah,
it's the
let's talk
proper
about
thing.
that. Yeah, let's,
Yeah.
because typically, you know, what we do typically, as you know, is we vote on what's before us. We don't, you know, take nominations per se, so council, help me get through this procedurally. If there is a motion on this item and it fails, it is then allowable for a name to be brought forth by a commissioner. Is that correct?
Yes.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Clark Coleman.
I make the motion that we accept the recommendation from the Rules Committee.
Okay, that's the motion. Is there support on that motion? Commissioner Basham, I see your hand. You're on mute, Commissioner Basham.
Sorry. Support.
Okay, the motion is to accept the Rules Committee recommendation. It was supported by Commissioner Basham. Discussion. Hold on, let me see if there's any discussions. There's discussion on that motion from Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner, who was that? I heard.
Palomero.
Vice Chair Palomero, then Commissioner Anderson.
Yeah, I think it's important, so there's absolute clarity in all of this, that when the motion is made, that they say not only to accept the committee report, but name the name who you're moving to support to fill that vacancy. Just don't say the committee report. I think it gives further clarity to say you make the motion to accept the committee report and appoint whoever it is that's in that committee report to fill the vacancy in District 2. That's what I'm saying, just to give clarity.
Okay, you want me to remake the motion?
Yes, please.
I think it would be helpful.
Okay, I make the motion that we follow the recommendation from the Rules Committee and elect Jonathan Kinlock to fill this position.
Is there support?
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Discussion.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Anderson, yes.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask our council, at this point, is there any opportunity to, because I thought, as Commissioner Hayes had thought, that we were going to have an opportunity to nominate other people. Because I think it's unfair to the full commission not to have an opportunity to consider other candidates. That's all.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Palomero, then Commissioner Council.
Question
Yeah. Before Felicia answers it, and I'm sure she'll do a better job than me, but once this motion is decided, if that is not the candidate that you prefer and you have another candidate, your vote would be no.
No, right.
Your vote would be no. And that means you have somebody that you prefer. Now, there's other excellent candidates out there. There's no question about that. So if you want somebody else that you prefer, your vote is no. And I guess you're hoping that this first vote doesn't come to 8 and you get to submit another name in that they would. So yes, there is a way to get to other candidates, but first this motion has to be dealt with up or down, to see whether or not those other candidates are to be considered. Thank you.
Thank you. Commission Counsel?
Through the chair, yes. So there is a motion on the floor to approve the recommendation and appointment of Mr. Kinloch. That motion has been seconded and it needs to be addressed before another motion can be had. I'll also comment that even with nominations, whether there were multiple names before this body now, we would still have to go through a voting process for each one to determine who would get 8 votes. So at this point, you have a motion before you to approve the appointment of Mr. Kinloch. If that motion receives 8 votes, then that motion is approved and Mr. Kinloch will be selected to fill the vacancy. If it does not get 8 votes, the motion will fail, and then someone is free to make a motion for another name, another candidate.
Through the chair on this point.
Yes, Commissioner Hayes.
Technically, from my long time experience, the nomination would be made and give a chance for mini nomination, then you vote on them separately. But lock one name and don't accept any other nomination, I think the sound of that, it's not clear to the public how we do business. So that's why I felt before we vote on the nominee, we open the floor for another nomination. And if there are other nominations, then we vote on them separately. But, you know, I'm not a lawyer. I think Felicia and the staff and Pam and even the vice chair Palomera, they explain those legally. Long as we protect it legally from any misunderstanding by the public, then we should be very careful. That's all.
Thank you, Commissioner. And let me say that this item on our agenda, like every item on our agenda, is a report from the committee. When we have a report for committee, we vote it up or we vote it down, same thing. It's not a, like we just had our elections and we took nominations. The work in the committee, listening to the interviews, reviewing the resumes and the packets, that was the work that was put in to get to the point of recommending someone to the full board. I'm hopeful that everyone had a chance to look at the interviews, if you weren't there live, to see all of the excellent candidates that we had, and we had excellent candidates. Any of them, all of them would certainly serve District 2 with honor, but that's when we went through the deliberation and brought this candidate forward. So we're doing nothing out of the ordinary that we would do for any report from a committee as we typically do. I think I saw a hand, Commissioner Basham.
No, I didn't have a hand up, Madam Chair.
No, it's me.
Commissioner Baidoon, go ahead.
We get confused. Our names both start with a B. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. So we have a motion to approve the recommendation from the Rules Committee. We either vote yes or no on that recommendation. If this vote is turned down, someone else can make a recommendation. Really, my priority is to fill this seat so the residents of District 2, second, do not stay without representation, whether it's in August or through November. We really had great candidates that stepped forward. And I'm going to be honest with you, both of them, Jonathan Kinloch and Eric Bruce, I was very, very impressed with both of them. And I would be honored to work with either one of them. And I just need to get this thing going so we can fill that seat. If not, if we can't get either one of these two gentlemen voted in, then, then be it. We tried, and then we'll just move to a special election in August.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other commission comments on the motion? Let me see. I don't see any other commissioner comments on the motion. So the motion by Commissioner Clark Coleman is to approve the report from the Rules Committee, which recommends Jonathan Kinlock to fulfill the seat of District 2 County Commission. It's been moved and supported. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Colleen,
May 5th is the date that we can have a special election. Let the people decide. No.
Commissioner Scott,
No.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
No.
Chair Bell,
Yes.
Commissioner Kniezek,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Abstain.
Commissioner Daub,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
No.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomera,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And I guess final remarks on this has been a very difficult time. Again, no one wanted to be in the position where we were replacing, we can never be replaced, but filling the seat of District 2 based on the death of our dear colleague and friend, Jewel Ware. This has been probably one of the most difficult processes and difficult votes that any of us has ever taken, because as we said, there were so many wonderful candidates. All of them brought so much to the table, but we can only pick one. That one person can now hit the ground running, serving the people of District 2 until the next election, which is will be here before we know it in August of 2022. I want to thank the work of the Rules Committee, thank all of the commissioners for the discussion. I mean, it warranted a good party discussion, which we had. It warranted public comments, which we had. Again, none of us want to be in this position. None of us wants to be here, but this is where we are, and we must make sure that the people of District 2 are served. So thank you for your comments. Thank you for everything. Again, the people in District 2, please work with Mr. Kinlock. I ask that all of the candidates please work together, because at this point, the mission is about advancing the people of that district, Detroit, Wayne County, and working together is the only way that we're going to do that. I know there are some hurt feelings. I know there are some people who had other candidates. I understand that, but as everything, unfortunately, we can only pick one person. And again, I want to thank the commissioners that made this very, very, very tough decision. And yes, we will be reviewing this process going in the future, because who would have ever thought that we would lose a commissioner like this? So that is something that will be on my priority list, to look at the process and to even lobby our state government for a better process to assist us down here at the local level. That's all the comments that I have on this.
Fucking failures.
Kim is having any other comment?
Did you just hear that?
Tavia,
I
make
think he
sure
said
that
fucking failures.
We need to.
everything is muted, please. Octavia, if you can mute everybody, please. Force mute. Thank you. Were there any questions
Madam-
from the commissioners or comments?
Madam
Yes.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to make a comment.
Yes.
We're ready to close this meeting.
Mhm.
I'd like to take this time to thank my colleagues on the commission for placing their trust in me to serve as the next Vice Chair Pro Tem of the Wayne County Commission I am truly honored to work with this distinguished group of commissioners. I mean, none of us could have imagined that we would be voting for anyone other than the Honorable Jewel Ware today. Her work and dedication will always be remembered by the Wayne County Commission and the people she represented. I acknowledge that I have big shoes to fill, and I hope to represent my colleagues well and to honor the legacy of the beloved Jewel Ware. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Baydoun. I appreciate your comments. Any other comments from commissioners? Okay, we'll go, before we get to remarks by members, let's finish the rest of the agenda. Reading, correction, and approval of the journal. Ms. Fordham was supposed to say that, but go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Reading, correcting, and approval of the journal.
Vice Chair Palomero. Okay, is there a motion for the reading, correction, approval of the journal?
Sorry about that. I moved to approve the reading of the journal. I was on mute. Sorry.
Okay, I'm trying to wait till they adjourn the meeting. As soon as they're doing.
Excuse me, could you put everybody on mute, please? Everyone, Octavia, put everyone on mute, and commissioners unmute yourselves manually. Octavia, put everyone on mute, please. And the commissioners unmute yourself manually. Thank you. It's been moved and supported. All in favor of the reading, correction, approval of the journal, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Any opposed? Anyone wish to abstain?
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next.
Resolutions
item.
in memoriam. There are no names listed.
Are there any names wish to be put forth at this time?
Yes, I do. I have a couple names to put forward.
Commissioner Clark Coleman?
Yes. It is with deep regret. I've lost two very close friends and as well as church members within the last week. So I'd like to place the name of Gwendolyn Miller, as well as Floria Jean Johnson. They both passed away within the last week they did.
Okay, thank you. And please submit those names to the clerk.
I will.
Thank you. Any other names wishing to go forward at this time? Okay, hearing none, let's take a moment of silence for those names as well as for those who lost their lives at the Capitol building yesterday, and for all of those persons who continually pass away from gun violence. Moment of silence, please. Okay. Thank you. Next item on the agenda, please.
Remarks by members.
Okay, are there any members wishing to give remarks at this time? Commissioner Killeen, do I see your hand up?
Yes, you do, Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Next Tuesday at the Health and Human Services Committee at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we're going to lead the meeting off again with a report from the Wayne County COVID czar, Dr. Hamami, and we're going to get good information out to people as to what is happening in the county. There's a lot of things swirling around this vaccine, a lot of questions. So I invite everyone. We will do it right at the beginning of the meeting because Dr. Hamami probably has a million other Zoom calls to be on. He shouldn't wait around. So that's next Tuesday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon at the Health and Human Services Committee. Please sign on. And we will cut out that section of our video that just discusses that and share that with commissioners so they can share it with their constituents. One other thing, Madam Chair, and it's more on a personal note, it's almost, it's been a little over 5 years now since my mom, Georgia, died. And on Killeen family email today, we're having a ball as one of my family members has an article entitled, "Georgia Saves American Democracy." Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. And yes, Georgia did save democracy. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to remind commissioners of the commissioners that have youth council members to reach out to each of them. That was part of setting up the program, is that you guys would meet with them, talk to them, mentor them. So I want to just ask you if you can do that sometime within the next, couple weeks. If you don't have their name or you need their information, which should have been sent to you some time ago, but if you don't have that, please feel free to reach out to my office and I will definitely get that to you. And as far as Ken Locke is concerned, I don't know if he's still on the line. I do want to welcome him as the new Wayne County Commissioner. Again, I have and had nothing against Mr. Ken Locke. He is well respected in the community. And again, it's about the process, the flawed process. And I'm so glad, Madam Chair, that you have committed to working on changing the process so that the voters don't feel disenfranchised. So thank you again, and welcome, Commissioner Jonathan Ken Locke.
Thank you, Commissioner. Let me just, who is that? Commissioner Varga?
Varga.
Now,
Yeah.
Commissioner Varga, let me say this really quick before you go, because I think it's noteworthy. In our chat, Beverly Kendall Walker, who was one of our interviewees, just wrote, "I plan to continue to work for the good of the community, particularly concerning the youth involved in the aviation industry. Thank you for your consideration of my desire to serve," and she signed her name. And that's the kind of leadership that I'm talking about, that we saw so much out of all of the candidates for this position, making sure that no matter what happens today, that they're still going to work in the community, still do what they need to do for the citizens of District 2 in Detroit and Wayne County. And I just want to commend and thank Ms. Kendall Walker for putting herself out there to serve. And thank you for that comment, because that really shows leadership, unity as we work, keeping our eye on the main thing, which is serving the constituents. Commissioner Varga.
I just wanted to boast a little bit about our Wayne County Commission leadership. As are known as a welcoming Wayne County, I just wanted people to know that our leadership also reflects the diversity of Wayne County. So congratulations, all of you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Scott?
Oh, thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah, Commissioner Anderson.
Oh.
Go ahead, Commissioner Scott, you're first.
Thank you. I just want to congratulate everyone who participated in this government for District 2. And just say thank you for your commitment. And Jonathan, I didn't vote for you, but I do welcome you aboard. You'll be my neighbor across the hall.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
I
you
just
all.
thought that it should have been more than one person that we interviewed to have the opportunity. So nothing against you. We've known each other for years, okay?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
All right. So God bless each and everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to also welcome Commissioner Ken Locke. Look forward to working with him. I know the commission will work well with him.
Thank you.
And I also wanted to thank all those that applied for the position. As I once again would rather have seen an election by the people in the second district, but that's behind us now. And I wish all of those folks well. There were some really good candidates. So as has been mentioned many times, I was very impressed by watching their interviews. Thank you so much, everyone, and happy 2021.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Baker McCormick?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I just forgot one thing. I just wanted to make sure that I acknowledged our new Vice Chair Pro Tem, Commissioner Sam Baydoun. I know that you will do a fantastic job in your new leadership role. And again, I wanted to say that I had nothing against you personally. It was really just thinking about what Jewel may have wanted. And so I just want to acknowledge you and if I can help you with anything, I am open to work with you. So thank you. And
Commissioner.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other commissioners have any
Madam Chair?
comments? Yes,
Madam
who's
Chair.
that? Is that
It's Ray
Mr.
Bastian.
Bash? Hey,
Starts with a
Mr.
B, like they do, but.
Hey.
All right.
Hey,
Yeah, Madam Chair, and listening to Commissioner's comments, I was listening to Commissioner Scott's comments about I wish we had interviewed more than one person. It's my understanding as a member of the Rules Committee that we interviewed 9 people. It was actually more than that, and it was drilled down to 9. And our current new commissioner was one of those 9 people that we interviewed. So it wasn't just one commissioner. We didn't just pick a commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you. I think she misspoke and meant to say one candidate forward.
But that's not what she said, though.
I know,
And
that's
I'm
not what
not
she
wanting
said.
to go back and forth.
Yeah, I know.
That's exactly
But the
what
point
I
is,
meant.
the point is, if you say
and
something and
I'm
it's
tired
on
of
the
this
record
commissioner
and
always
you're making
on
it
me.
sound like, hey, I got the floor, and it sounds like
Yeah,
you only picked one person,
You're not
then
the
it doesn't
only
look for the
one.
entire commission doesn't look well. And it's I just wanted to, you had your say. I wanted to have my say about being a member of the Rules Committee, interviewing 9 people for 3 days straight. Thank you.
You better leave me alone.
Commissioner, Chair
Yes,
Bell.
ma'am. Yes.
I just want to take this time to also welcome Jonathan Kenlock on as our new commissioner. I'm sure that he will do a great job. I think what moved me more was the comment that we received from Sherry Johnson, Jewel's longtime staffer. And I felt very comfortable because I think that she knew Jewel better than anyone would know Jewel. So I was very impressed that she felt that she could come forward and make a comment on behalf of Jonathan Kenlock. So I think that was admirable. Now, also, we talked about Georgia on our mind. I'm a Georgia peach. I was born in Georgia, so I'm real proud of what happened in Georgia. Next, I heard on the news today that individuals 65 years and older are now eligible for the vaccine. So I just wanted to point that out. If the governor said that your county health department will now start administering vaccine for those seniors 65 years and older. So for our seniors out there, I want to make sure that they are aware that now that they can go and be vaccinated.
Yes, thank you for that. That is a good thing. And I'm hoping that by the summer, everyone who wants a vaccine will be able to get a vaccine. Thank you for that, Commissioner.
Okay.
If not sooner in the summer, so we can get back to some normalcy.
Yes.
Any other, Commissioner Killeen, I see your hand up.
Yeah, Madam Chair. Thank you. I just wanted to respond to Commissioner Clark Coleman there. It's not that easy, Commissioner, that 65-year-olds all over Wayne County are going to get vaccines tomorrow. So I will recommend again that people tune in Tuesday, where we get the real story from Dr. Hamami, how many vaccines are actually available, and how many is the county getting, and what are the priorities. This is not a simple, straightforward story. And then we will have a tape of Dr. Hamami's comments that we can share and educate our public with what the real story is. So what has happened here with the vaccine is basically the federal government has punted on this. They have just distributed vaccine to local health departments that were not equipped to handle that influx. And now they're having to play catch up. And so once again, what this is that there's no leadership from Washington, and all these local health departments are scrambling. And then you have some supply chain issues. So again, I'm going to say 1 o'clock Tuesday, let's get the straight story out there on vaccines. Thank you, Madam Chair.
And in response to that message, Commissioner Killeen, I did not say that they would be able to vaccinate them tomorrow. I realize that a person has to make an appointment. It will be by appointment only. However, I simply said that according to the governor, that the next group eligible are those 65 and up. Then they will have to contact the their county health department to try to get an appointment. That's all I said. Thank you.
I understand that, Commissioner Coleman, but I've already received 3 emails today from people over 70. When can I get that? And so we need to get the right story, not me and you, Commissioner, out to the public who's going to see that story and think they can go tomorrow because I'm over 65 and get one. And the story is more complicated than that. So I don't want to give a false impression out there for seniors and other people that are eligible for the vaccine right now. It is a little bit more of a complicated story, but we need to tell that to the public. Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm done.
Thank you. Commissioner Palomero.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to thank you, and I want to thank all of my colleagues for your support in allowing me to continue to serve as Vice Chair of the Commission. You mentioned earlier that you heard from Ms. Kendall Walker, who sent you a very gracious note. I too heard from somebody since our meeting ended by text. I heard from Rick Preuss, who sent me a very gracious thank you note for considering him. I really didn't know Rick before this process began, but I know a lot of the people who support him, and he was an excellent candidate, as were many who put their name forward. And I appreciate his graciousness in thanking me and thanking us for so strongly considering him. And I firmly believe, as I welcome Commissioner Kinloch to our board, that Rick Preuss will have a career in public service as well at some point. Thank you again. That's all I have for now.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to allow Mr. Jonathan Kinloch to say a few words before we conclude this meeting. Mr. Kinloch? Oh yeah, he probably needs to be unmuted. Yep. Do you see his name, Octavia? She muted everybody except for us.
I do not see Commissioner Kinloch's name in the Zoom anymore.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chair Bell. I want to thank everyone for their vote and support. I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you as we move in these next days coming. I'm very excited and very appreciative and proud that you all have appointed me and will serve the residents of District 2 with honors. So I would just like to say thank you. And also I'd like to say to the other candidates, because I too have heard from some of the other applicants. Willie Burton called me yesterday, as well as I heard from Napanji Thomas, and Rick Preuss also reached out. And I look forward to, in the coming days, calling and touching bases with all of the applicants and other individuals as we deal with these issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Oh, Commissioner. And Mr. Johnson
hasn't been sworn in yet.
I know. Commissioner to be, and Mr. Johnson will direct you on next steps, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, we are at the end of the meeting. I could talk a little bit more, but I'm just going to say again to my colleagues, thank you for entrusting me to chair this second term as the chair of this honorable body. It is absolute pleasure to work with each and every one of you. I look forward to us continuing to do big things in Wayne County for our residents. I always love the fact that we can disagree, but more often than not, we're not disagreeable and we disagree with respect. And I want to keep that spirit going forward. We're not all the same with all the same thoughts and philosophies, but we all are the same in our desire and in our vigor in representing all of the people of Wayne County. So I'm so glad to work with such a outstanding people who understand the importance of public service. So with that, I am going to ask that we go to the next item on the agenda, which is adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
I'm moved in support, and I'm sorry. I said I was going to let Commissioner Baidoon say something about a final word. Go ahead, Commissioner Baidoon.
I know this has been a long meeting, but I just wanted to make some remarks about the events of yesterday. You know, our Capitol building, one of the symbols of our American democracy, came under attack yesterday. People have the right to protest peacefully, but no one is entitled to storm the Capitol building and cause damage and chaos. Our democracy is beautiful, unique, and one that is by and for the people. America is supposed to be the beacon of global democracy. The People's Capitol is one of the most protected buildings in the world. I'm still wondering how can these protesters storm the Capitol building so easily? This was nothing but an attempt to overthrow our democracy. Yesterday was a sad day for America. These acts of violence are appalling and must be condemned by everyone, regardless of our political affiliation. We proved yesterday that no one is above our Constitution. We pray for all of our lawmakers whose lives were threatened yesterday. We also pray for the families of the 4 people who lost their lives yesterday. It's time to heal and unite as we move forward. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Commissioner, and I think we all concur with those remarks. And with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right.
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all. Take care now.